Hi, Sylvia Fella, and I tune into Genesis to stay reached.
We are the Peoples Station. We are the Peoples Station. We are the Peoples Station. We are Genesis FM. Genesis FM. London.
God, squad. God, squad. God squad, God squad, God God squad. God squad.
Genesis, London's only #1 station. Genesis, Genesis, London's only #1 station. Genesis, London's only #1 station. Genesis, London's only #1 station. Genesis, Genesis, London's only #1 station. Genesis, London's only #1 station.
Yeah, we're in the house, we're in the house, we're in the house. Good morning. Run a bit late tonight, guys. We've got Sister N in the house. And we're gonna just see what we can find to talk about today. As the normal running the mill. Come and say good morning, Sister N.
Good morning, London. Hoping that all of you are well this morning. As you know, it's a live link now, and the number is 07940 186 067. So if you've got anything to talk about this morning, you can call soon.
Yeah, can we get a live link check out there if we've got any listeners out? Well, I'm sure we have, but I mean, can you just give us a buzz on that number there, which is 07940 186 067. Yeah? Yeah, so if you could do that for us, give us a bell, 07940 186 067. I think talk about a couple of the issues. We've got some issues from the New Nation. We've got talking about excluded kids. You know what I'm saying? Should we make cannabis legal? You get what I'm saying? A cannibal. Cannabis, I mean. Yeah, can we make cannabis legal, which is herb, weed, you know what I'm saying? Should we make that legal? And if so, if we do, how would it affect us as a community and as black people and really? Yeah, ready the New Nation about exclusion of children and stuff like that, black kids, what do you think about that? I think we spoke about that a few weeks back actually, you get what I'm saying? So I mean, if you start, give us a buzz out there on this number, 07940 186 067. It's taking time for people to wake up and warm up. So just give it a minute. Yeah, can we get that call back? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, just that.
Yeah, driver, bro. Just giving it one check.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, nice one, yeah?
You want anything, Chris?
Yeah, man. I got it up, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah?
Peace.
Yeah, so well, we know we're live. So, you don't want me to start going, do you? Because you don't want us to start going. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to talk about something, you better, because if I start talking, we'll be all over, we'll be all out there, you know what I'm saying? Got Sister N as the mediator, the controller. She said she'll control me if I get out of what's the name? Yeah. I think it feels quite strange actually. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give us a call and bring something up, because like, you know what I mean? It's all about that, isn't it, really? I wanna, if they don't phone, I'll just keep talking, mate. Because I wanna talk about some of the stuff that I've been seeing going on. You get me? As far as I'm concerned, you know, black people have to wake up to the fact that, you know what I'm saying, white people rule. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We have to wake up to that fact, because I think people we keep getting the whingers come out and saying, oh, this and oh, that and this, and no one does anything about it. You're just there whinging, you know. It's like, what's the whinge this week and what's the whinge next week? You get what I'm saying? I think the best way to deal with that is to attack it head on, you get what I'm saying, and not whinge all the time, you get what I'm saying? It's like, you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you want something, you're in a country, you've been colonized, and you've immigrated, and you've been kidnapped, and you've been enslaved, and all sorts of stuff, and you're here. And so whilst you're here, I suppose it's what do you call it? It's your legal right or your human right to have certain to be catered for in a certain way, yeah. But whinging doesn't do that, does it? Doesn't sort it out, does it? Whinging doesn't help at all. Whinging just makes people go, yeah, alright. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to be in a position to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think of that? Numbers 07940186067. So tell us what you think. So what was he saying? Yeah. So if we you lot got me bloody all over the place. Do you appreciate the single Mother's Day card? Because they start to make cards for single mums now. Mother's Day. Do you appreciate that? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that's a good idea? How about that? Do you think that does anything? What do you think about the record company signing up with the Ku Klux Klan and making a deal with the Ku Klux Klan? Suge Knight's record labels has made a deal with the Ku Klux Klan. What do you think about that? Tell me what you think. Because then I can get something to go on. I can get some feedback and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Get some argument. I don't know. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. Yeah, well, I'll tap my feet till somebody gives me a call. Or I just let you keep hearing that jingle loud. Yeah, we got a call there. Hello, Genesis. Hello. Greetings.
Yeah. O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just want to ask you, you know, your opinions about the control of white people in the South. What's your solution to the situation?
I mean, like what, an immediate one or a one along? I don't know, you know. I don't think there is one. I don't think there is. I think that's what we've been searching for far too long, a solution to that. And what we should be really looking at is ourselves. You get what I'm saying? I think that if we look at ourselves more and realise what we're doing to ourselves more, I feel that we'll have a better slant, for want of a better word, on the situation, rather than a direct solution. If you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There needs to be a process of our own sort of what do you call it? Investigations into our own selves and our own behaviours and stuff like that, before we can start to say, oh, it's their fault, because, you know, they freed us, so to speak, and whatever. And we aren't, you know, people who are black activists in that way know about psychological slavery and stuff like that, yeah. But what we want to know is why is when black people are getting into so many powerful places, why we are still, when homosexuals get into powerful places, you know what I'm saying, they put forward a homosexual agenda. They even created a new word in the Bible called homophobia. It's a new word, it's just a modern day word. They made it up to suit themselves. How comes black people ain't got no new words? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it sounds silly, but it's as simple as that. Yeah, it's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? All these things are, oh yeah, they got police after our kids and all this loads of, you know what I'm saying? And every time we get into a position of power, we do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Homosexuals stayed in the dark for a long time, and they busily climbed up the ladder to get into a position of power. And when they got into position of power, what they call it, coming out of the closet or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Which black persons, you know, which black person, I don't want people to come out of the closet homosexually, I just mean like, come out and says, yeah, I'm black and I'm proud and this is my main agenda, I'd like black people to stand up more for this, and I want black people to, you know, when does that happen? It doesn't, I don't know who does it. Tell me, do you know anyone who does it? Or it's been done?
Well, me personally, no, but I suppose with us doing a lot of research, reading, and mixing with the right sort of people, we come to these conclusions that you're doing. Maybe not as aggressively, because I listened to your show the other night there, and as much as you're talking, that's why I asked about direction. You don't seem to be pointing nowhere, but just pointing out what's going on in society.
Yeah, but it's movement, isn't it? Everything happens by movement. The Black Panthers, you know, the Marxist part, you know what I'm saying?
Is that where you're coming from then? Basing your style from the Black Panthers and Malcolm X and them brothers there?
I don't know if that's what my style, I don't know, but I think, I suppose if there's an eternal fire or eternal passion that one can tune into, I would say that, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's a style based off of that, because
well, don't you find yourself a bit antagonistic? I mean, I know it sounds like you're angry and aggressive, so when you're over the air and you hear a man come on the show, you just want rush him. Especially if he's not one of those intelligent men who can say certain things and let you say certain things yourself.
Okay, well, so you're saying I'm not an intelligent, are you saying that?
I never said that. I'm saying if somebody comes onto the radio, at least he'll have something to vent out. At least if he says something intelligent, then you can acknowledge that. But otherwise, like, you might maul a man up.
Is there a I mean, I don't know.
But I think it's a problem in that.
Okay.
But
what I'm saying is
they make it look like a platform to boost your ego or anything like that.
Okay, no. It's not even that. I think that ego is a healthy thing. Yeah. Everything about the human anatomy and the human physiology and psychology is healthy. It's when it's out of control. So I would like my ego stroked from time to time. That's just human. You know what I'm saying? And I would like also, I do feel egotistically dented at certain times. I think that is also human. But it's when you take any of those emotions to an extreme level, then it becomes a problem. Now, as Mr. Emerson, I'm an excitable person.
Indeed.
I've always been, and all I've done, rather than try to tame myself in a manner that's befitting of a colonized slave or
I know what
ex-slave.
you're trying to say. You're trying to, because everyone seems to be sheepish.
Yeah.
You want to be yourself by being more profound in your language and expression. So therefore,
Most
you're
definitely.
separated from the pack.
Most definitely, most definitely. I don't know if I necessarily wanted to do that, but everybody, like Otis Redding sings different from Luther Vandross. I think that,
Yeah, but it's not the same, more or less the same.
but they sing in the same vein. You get what I'm saying? So I talk different from Malcolm X, but I'm talking in the same vein. I talk different from Peckham, but I talk in the same vein. I'm not religious.
Yeah, so basically, I am. You're basically saying that you talk street, they talk intelligently.
No.
Yeah, because they almost will get hold of more people in the public than somebody that seems to be just shooting off and seemingly angry. That's why I said that. I mean, I agree with the social side of things that you're saying, but I wouldn't go about it by saying sort of talking separately.
In order to, and we'll have this, we'll keep this dialogue going a bit. In order to have that though, in order to have intelligence, the difference between intelligence, and what you call street, which seemingly means unintelligent, but we just go with that. But no, exactly. So there's no difference then. But because you have separated it and said one is more intelligent than other, we have a difference.
I'll tell you what, people listen to that and then distinguish extreme vulgarity. I don't know.
Yeah, but those vulgarity in words like that are Latin words which have been brought forward into English.
All the words we're using is either coming from France, Germany, Latin, Greek.
Right. So what we're saying then is that if we're using all of them, even the swear words, what we're saying, all I'm doing is using language. You're saying that it's vulgar to you because the colonialists have said it's vulgar. The colonialists decided that it was that. There's many words which I'm not saying that you should use them. What I'm saying is that even the two-finger salute, right, which is meant to be a vulgar sign, it's only a sign of an archer defying the Norman invasion. That's all it is. But it's turned now into actual, it means F off, which it doesn't really mean that. You get what I'm saying? So it's about how you perceive a particular type of talk. If you perceive what I'm saying to be vulgar, then that's how you perceive it. But if then a doctor comes and says to you, well, the vagina or the spleen or the lung, that's okay. But the moment he uses, maybe what we say is different type of language to describe these things, then he becomes vulgar and unintelligent, doesn't he? Hello? It's gone. You get what I'm saying? It becomes, I'll just finish up what I'm saying. It becomes vulgar and unintelligent. And what I'm saying is this. You get what I'm saying? If people want to judge someone by the jib of how they speak, yeah, it's only based upon their stereotype. You get what I'm saying? If I'm saying, all kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be accurate in my description, and this is the way I know to be accurate, then that's what I'm being, more than being vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Because Richard Pryor's vulgar, Eddie Murphy's vulgar, who's this other guy? Martin Lawrence is vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Even this guy on the television, what's his name? Ali G. You get what I'm saying? Like, the other day he's talking about words that he picked up. I won't say it at this time of day, but you get what I'm saying? Nani and all them kind of words he's using and whatever, and this is a white guy, so... But he's taken in a very... And he's calling them batty boy on television. But because he's a white man saying batty boy, he's become a phenomenon. You get what I'm saying? But a black man saying it now, he's become an anathema. You get what I'm saying? So what we have here is what we have here is people's inability, because of age-old colonialist stereotypes, inability to separate their own in a justifiable and a balanced way. You get what I'm saying? So if I talk about any subject at any length, and I use derogatory statements within that, in terms say, well, this is how I'm feeling in a particular way, then that is up to me. That is a personal, what do you call it, outlet. You get what I'm saying? And then somebody else will come along, all nice and smooth and all clerical-like, and say it in a manner which is befitting of, I suppose, school teachers and people who, of that like. I don't know why you cut off. I don't know if you did it on purpose or whatever, but you say I don't know what I really don't know what the point is trying to make really, but I like the discourse at this time because nobody else ain't calling up. But so just to end.
waiting for some calls. So meanwhile, I'll just put in a few things that I've just seen in the newspaper this week, and some things that are going on in my mind, and see if anybody's interested in that. One of the things I'm quite interested to hear from are other people that are who have businesses. I'd like to know how they're feeling about the businesses that they're running at the moment. I'd like to know whether or not they're feeling successful, and I'd like to know whether or not they're feeling supported by other black people. Morning caller? Morning caller?
Good afternoon.
Who's this?
I can't hear you.
Who's this?
I can't hear you.
Good morning. Can you hear? I can't hear. Good morning.
My name is Rose.
Rose?
Yes, from Hackney.
Hi Rosanna, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Right, thank you.
Good, good.
What have you got to tell us this morning?
Sorry?
What have you got to tell us this morning?
I'd like to make an on Saturday the 16th of April at Trinity Hall, Trinity Centre in Dorset. We're having a conference entitled Black Women and Spirituality, and we are having a debate. We have 4 speakers who will be putting forward different perspectives of African spirituality and how we can use it in our everyday lives. The cost is £12 and there's £6 concession, and there's a creche, and there will be stores and also entertainment on the day.
Okay, so can you just repeat the date that that's due to take place?
That will be on Saturday the 15th of April,
Saturday
between
the
12 in the afternoon, 6 in the evening.
Between 12 and 6?
Yes.
And it's a conference on black women and spirituality?
Yes, exploring our divine selves.
Okay, could you tell us, Rosanna, while you're here, what's prompted you to put on this conference?
Sorry?
What's prompted you to put on this conference?
Well, we felt, and with the experience, that people are always, or everyone has a different perception of what spirituality is, and oftentimes people always tend to think that they need to find their spirit or spirituality when they're in problems. And we got together and we thought, well, why not have an open forum, an open debate on what is spirituality, how can you use it, what can you do with it, who does it affect, how does it affect you, and most importantly, how can you use it in your everyday life. And we found that the people just had so many different perceptions of it, and we said, well, obviously there's a need for it, and we decided to put it together. And so far we've had some very, very good responses.
Okay.
About it.
So it's expecting it to be a good day then?
Yes.
All right, London, you heard that. So we have black women. Why is it called black? Why is it only black women? What about the brothers?
Oh no, it is actually open to the brothers as well. I did forget to mention. But we said, well, what tends to happen is when there are conferences on spirituality, it always tend to be headed by the brothers. Yeah. And so we said, well, let the sisters speak and let the brothers be there to listen to what we have to say, but it will be, it's still an African forum where the men and the women are involved, but it will be just putting forward the view. And it will be an open forum where people will have plenty of chance to ask questions and have dialogue as a group. Okay. So, yes, the brothers are not excluded.
Okay. Thanks very much. And just in case people are really interested, is there a phone number that they can contact you on?
Yes, we have 2 phone numbers.
All right, everyone get your pens ready, please. Okay, what are they?
Okay, the first one is 0956 134370, and the other one is 0208 986 4403. Those are the 2 numbers, and we can be contacted at any time.
Okay. So hope some of Genesis listeners will go and support this event, which will be taking place on the 15th of April between 12 and 6 in Hackney at, sorry, the place, please?
Trinity Centre, Beechwood Road, E8.
E8.
And that's not far from Brixton Junction. There is the market. That would be the landmark if anybody needs to know.
Okay, thank you. Well,
Thank you very much for the time.
Okay, have you got anything else you'd like to say? To put to London to discuss? Perhaps somebody else can call in as a response?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I do. There is another issue that I'd like to raise, and that is about we have a workshop entitled "The Structures of Love," and
the structures of love.
The structures of love. How do you want to be loved? This is a question that we've been posing to many African people, and we get very many responses about the perception of love. And one of the big issues we have is that oftentimes people are not asked how they want to be loved. We just take it for granted that we are being loved, but we all have different needs, different ways that we need to be loved. So I'd like to put that question out, and if the listeners would like to call in and give their answer, they could do. And if they need further information about the workshop, they can phone the same number that I gave you.
Okay. So
and let's see whether we'll answer. We also, one other thing we found out when we put the questions, and the people that come to the workshop are the sisters. The brothers are not attending the workshop. Again, it's the sisters who's working on themselves, and as they say, it takes two to tango. So let's see if we can get some responses from the brothers too.
Okay.
And the thing is, how do you want to be loved?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah?
That's a very important question, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then. So
Yeah,
what have people said about it so far? Has it been a wide range of responses to that?
The responses, there are two responses, those that come to the workshop and those that we ask for the questions, those that we ask the question to. Obviously those that come to the workshop, they're
more serious about it.
Yes, and they have issues that they will raise. And those that we ask the question, oftentimes they have an issue about the question itself, so sometimes you don't get further than the question. And those who initially find ways that they do want to be loved have to really think about it and rephrase and redo, and then you have debate and discussion about it.
Yeah.
So a wide range of responses, responses to the point where people don't have anything to say about how they want to be loved. So
well, maybe that's the point then. Maybe the reason why most people aren't being loved the way they want to, because they don't actually know.
Yes.
That's why there's so many unhappy people in relationships or not in relationships.
That's right. Yeah, it's a very serious subject, because we assume that we know, and particularly those of us who have children and families, you just get on with it. You don't question how you're living and what you're in until something happens. But we need to really do step back and think about what we want. Otherwise, you just live just an ordinary middle-of-the-road life.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's good. Did you hear that, London? So yeah. Okay then. Well, hopefully
how do you want to be loved?
Why do you say it in that accent?
love. All right. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Roseanne. Thanks for your contribution.
And you too. Thanks for allowing me the time.
Okay. Take care.
Okay then. Bye.
Bye. Did you hear that, London? Very, very interesting. Okay, so there's two things going on there. There's the workshops on how do you want to be loved. There's also the Black Women and Spirituality Conference that's taking place on the 15th of April. I'm not sure when the workshops are taking place, but if you did catch those numbers, you can call Rose on them and she'll probably tell you about the workshops. But I'd like to have some responses to that, to see what people really think. I think that's quite... I know she said it in a kind of light-hearted way, but to me, in there is a very deep and important question. Okay, because in the work I do, I talk to a lot of people who feel very downhearted about their relationships and things like that. And quite often I do try and get them to understand what it is that they want, or help them to define what it is that they want. So to be able to put that put that question to a wider audience in the form of workshops or things like that, I think it's about time really. And maybe with time, if we explore this issue, there'll be a lot more happier people than what there are now. What have you got to say about that, Dr. X? How do you want to be loved?
I agree wholeheartedly with that. You get what I'm saying? I think that love is a serious issue, and it's a very deep and complex one. So I don't think it's one that you can just really take. I mean, I think when Roseanne said or said love, I mean it's just that typical love song romance kind of, and I think that the romantic type of love kind of I don't know, the enslaved love that I would call it, I think it's kind of getting outdated, and that must be proven by the amount of divorces and the amount of unhappy relationships we have now. So probably it is about time that we reassess. Maybe not the whole idea of Valentine's Day and the whole idea of that, but your individual, what you really want for yourself, your individuality, what makes you feel loved more than what is love, and how do you want to be loved. But what makes does flowers make you feel loved, or chocolates, or what I'm saying? If there's touching, whatever. What is it that makes you say, oh, that person loves me? Is it the way the person thinks about you? Is it the time they share with you? Is it the understanding of your individuality? Is that love, or is it when there's some kind of matrix that you copy love from and say, well, if you loved me, you wouldn't have done X. If you loved me, you wouldn't have done this. If you loved me, what I'm saying. Because we've got we're not dealing with the human psyche properly, the human biology, the human nature need. So we end up with this kind of fabricated version of something that we call love, and we all try to live by it, and it doesn't suit everybody. So the number is 07940 186 067. Yes, give us a call on that and see, because I mean even love in terms of black people today, that's that whole vibe, you know what I'm saying? The difference between the love of a poor person and the love of a rich person, is there a difference? Is there a difference between the love of a man and the love of a woman? I think I'll take this call. Hello, caller. It's gone. Yeah. I think there's a big difference between the love of a man and the love of a woman. And I think women have to carry the emotional stuff with the children and stuff like that. But I feel that women have been given this I don't know this sort of, is it gift, or is it just a naturality where they become mothers and so it seems as if they will be better parents than fathers, which I don't necessarily agree with, you know what I'm saying. But do they love better? Do they love, you know what I'm saying? I think men can love children or whatever equally as well, but because of this hormonal difference, we have a problem right now. Here's a call anyway, because this is this is long. You get me? 07940 186 067.
My opinion is that you can't be loved by anybody else unless you love yourself first, because sometimes somebody does love you and you can't see it because you just really don't like yourself, so you actually don't believe you deserve love. I'm going to take this call. Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Samantha from Peckham.
Samantha from Peckham. Hi, morning.
Good morning.
What's the say?
I think it's an interesting debate, and it kind of made me feel sad when I heard about it, because it reminded me of a situation that I was in 7 years ago.
Okay.
When I said to the father of my child. All I want you to do is just love your child. So it kind of made me sad because, I don't know, I think he would say that yes, he does love his child, but to me he doesn't show it. And as a result of that, I've had to kind of take action in a way that I rather wouldn't have, I wouldn't have liked to have done before, but I've been forced into this position.
So into what position, Sue?
Sorry?
What position were you forced into?
No, what I'm saying is, I've recently had to take action in regards to the nature of the relationship that he's having with my son, yeah?
Okay.
Sorry?
Is that legal action?
Yeah,
Or is it
legal
through the
action.
CSA, the Child
Sorry?
Support Agency?
No, legal action, not through the child support agency.
Okay.
And that was basically so I could have some kind of definition of, the contact between him and my son, first of all, and also so that in the future, if my son ever turns around and says to me, why didn't I have the relationship with my father that I should have had, then I have this piece of paper, which I consider to be kind of like in my defense. I can show it to him and say, look, I did make the effort, and it wasn't just this, it started way before this.
Okay. So your son's now 7, is he? How old is your son?
He's 7.
He's 7. How is he doing now?
How is he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing very well. He's got lots of positive black male role models around him, so that's not a problem. But, his father isn't, and I'm being very personal now, but I think it's something that a lot of people can
relate to
and empathize with, yeah. He is not the type of person who I would say is the perfect father. He's far from it. But I've always believed that it's my duty as mother to make sure that, okay, if I'm not getting on with this person, I have to make sure that my son knows who his father is, whether I think he's a good person or a bad person.
That's true. So were you saying that his father didn't want to know him, so you forced the issue by going to court? Is that what you're saying?
No, I haven't actually been to court or anything like that, but I've had some kind of, what we've done is we've defined the relationship that he should be having with my son. Therefore, what I've done is just try to outline when he can come and visit his son and this type of thing.
And has he responded to that in a positive way?
Well, this has all been very recent, but no, he hasn't responded to it because I think he's basically scared now.
So the issue really, I'm trying to understand the issue. The issue on his part or between you and him is that he doesn't want to see his son.
I wouldn't say that's true, no. I think I'd be unfair if I was to say that.
Okay.
But over the past 7 years, we've both been doing different things. And I've always maintained contact through his family side, through his mother, etc. But I found, coming back to London now, and he's come back to London as well, things are not as I would have hoped they should have been, sort of thing. And it's really sad because what I'm having to do is call him up and say, do you want to see your son? Do you want to spend time with your son? And I'm really trying, but it does not seem to be working. He only, manipulates situations to his advantage. So for example, if he wants to see me, basically he uses his son as an excuse. And I'm fed up of him using, my son in this way. It's not fair.
So what I'd like to, what you're saying, because I'm trying to bring this back to this issue on how do you want to be loved, which I think prompted you to make this call. How does all of this fit into that?
The issue of love doesn't relate to me, but what it does is it relates to, a father's love for his child.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're saying his father's more interested in yourself, so he only uses his son to perhaps get to you through his son?
Just him, I'm not really hearing you very well.
I said, are you saying that he's really his father, your child's father, is really interested in you, and he uses his son to get to you?
Well, anyway, yeah. I think he would deny it if I were to say that to him. He would deny it. Of course he would. But it was a case where we were very young when we met, and just very briefly, I got pregnant very quickly. The two of us did not know each other well. And as a result of that, my son was born and everything. And there was no relationship there because I went off and did other things, and then he did too. So therefore, 7 years later, or 6 years later, we've come back into this kind of situation where it's like, well, neither one of us know each other very well, and yet there's this child there who desperately needs love, and he's getting it from me, and I'm trying to make sure that there's some kind of contact with the father and this type of thing. And I even try to conceal my feelings, my kind of dislike for his ways and this type of thing, by trying to promote a positive image of him and this type of thing. I try so hard, but it's like I'm fighting a losing battle, because this man is acting like a boy, and he doesn't want to accept responsibility. And it's not just a financial thing,
But what I feel prompted to ask you, sis, is I detect that somehow you're feeling very concerned and very hurt by this. But wouldn't you be better off conserving your energy to just giving your son whatever the 100% perhaps you can give, rather than waste? But I get a sense that you're wasting some of it trying to force somebody to do something that they're not really quite ready to do at this moment.
Well, I mean, how long does one, over a period of 7 years, I basically made sure that my son knew about his paternal side,
But maybe,
part of my responsibility.
and I think that's right for you to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but from you have said to your son, this is your father, and you said to your child's father, this is your son, you know where to find me or him if you want to see him. And
absolutely.
Surely over and above that you can't do a great deal about it?
Well, you see, the thing is, in theory that would be perfect. It would be the perfect situation. But when you have a little boy who sees his friends, their fathers, and comes back to you, and even though he has got lots of positive male role models around him, his father, he still wants his father. And it's not a matter of me trying to force this man to have a relationship with his son, but I'm trying to maintain some kind of positive relationship. So that if he does turn around and say, that's no problem, but it doesn't seem to be going that way.
Yeah, but my concern is what I know about people is that people aren't really ready to make changes unless there's something deep within themselves that chooses to make that change. And I've seen so many people waste a lot of time, energy, and become emotionally distraught just trying to force another adult to do something that at the moment they're not able or capable to do for whatever deficiency they have. I'm agreeing with you, it is a deficiency, but I'm concerned that one of the things I know about children is that I know you're trying to give your son a positive image of his father and so on, but I get a sense that there's a certain kind of frustration or anxiety that you're carrying around this, and you may not be saying that verbally to your son, but I get a sense he'll be picking that up.
I
think maybe you need not have to do that. You need to let him choose when he's ready to take his responsibility.
I think you're right. I think I am slightly disappointed with it. That's all I can really say, is that I'm disappointed with it. But in terms of me carrying around anxiety, I have a very full life. I'm very, very active. I work extremely hard for a young woman of my age. What can I say? I've had a very, very active life, and I've done lots of things which I'm not going to even bother to go into now. But
so should we put that out to the rest of London to see what they think about what you've said? Because it is important what you're saying. I said, should we put that out to the rest of London to see what they
it's interesting, something to talk about. But
I know, but I think it's important, not just something to talk about. I think it's very important because I look around, I'm even in, and there are many what we call single parents, people on their own with children. Sometimes it's men on their own with children, sometimes it's women on their own with children. And I think children are affected a lot more than what we think they are, because children are a lot more intuitive and sensitive than what we give them credit for.
Yeah, I would agree.
I hear what you're saying. So it'll be interesting to see what anyone else has got to say about that.
Sure. But can I just say one thing, just very quickly? When you talk about single parents being on their own, they're not actually on their own unless they have no family support, no friendship networks, no job, and this type of thing. When we come out of our doors, we have to interact with people. If we have a job, we interact with our colleagues and our students and this, that, and the other.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's not a question of being on your own, but the one person who's supposed to be there as a father, when it's not there, it's very disappointing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Doctor, something to say?
Yeah, I'll just like, I see, I'm from a male point of view anyway, I see what you're saying, but I think I agree with Sister N on the issue of, you can't force adults shouldn't be forced to do what they don't want to do, or they're not ready or prepared, or if we had more facilitators for these types of differences within relationships, maybe we'd get, because maybe we'd understand his particular mental state
rather than me having to go to a solicitor and someone else to facilitate this thing.
That's right, and that's because the solicitor is very legal. He can't really help. He just wants to do it by word of the law and blah blah. But maybe there's some pain he's feeling as a human being for whatever reasons, not necessarily to do with you, but for whatever reason why he hasn't matured enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like they used to say a long time ago that women mature, girls mature before men, and I think that, I mean, in terms of some men anyway, it seems to prevail itself in our community.
To be very honest with you, we were always sorry, am I talking over you?
No, go.
To be honest with you, we were always very different anyway. And I will say that, I was very responsible at the time when I met him. That has nothing to do with me having a child. My child's a blessing. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me, because if I didn't have him at the age of 18, I would not have gone on to do the things that I've done now, and I wouldn't be the person I am now.
See, so
he's really in the making of me.
There's a positive and negative within that. Or one, the positive if you've done things and it's taken your life to different levels, and the other side is that you didn't even really know him, and he didn't really know you, and because from the onset, then we as human beings, before we reach a point, because we're brought up in a certain way, before we reach a point of sociological then maturity, we're having relationships which we're not even sure of, whether that, you might not, this person might like to go to dizzy heights, and you might be, you have a phobia about heights. You get what I'm saying? So these are the things that are more important in a mature relationship. I'm not saying a young relationship can't be mature, but even a 50-year-old, they've got some very immature 50, 60-year-old relationships. You get what I'm saying? It's all about knowing and looking at oneself in one's true light in order to understand why one does what one does.
But that is only something that the person can help themselves with. I cannot help, I can sit down and I can advise this type of thing, but this person, I mean, he's not going to want to listen to me.
No.
I could never ever sit down with him and say, look, he's seeing me as his baby mother, put it that way.
Yeah.
He's not looking at me as someone who's his teacher or his tutor.
That's right.
He sometimes complains that I talk to him as if he's one of my students.
Right. That's ego though, isn't it? That's the immaturity of the ego, which everyone has ego, but sometimes people haven't been able to deal. You're obviously on a different level to him. You get what I'm saying? And some people aren't able internally to deal with their issues. You get what I'm saying? Because he would need somebody. So like I was his brethren now, and he trusted me. You know what I'm saying? Or he had a circle of people who had that viewpoint. Like they could say to him, and he would say, well, boy, you want to see she's going on her way, and I don't like blah blah blah. And they'd say to him, from a balanced point of view, yeah, well, this and that. Why don't you try this and that? Whereas if he's in a circle of another set of people, they might be saying, yeah, bloody baby mother, man, they're always on your case. And you get what I'm saying?
This is the thing. I know he has friends around him who are very responsible when it comes to their children. I mean, I even saw one of his friends the other day, and they said, yeah, I told him to go and check for his child and so and so. And I thought, oh, how sweet, because he didn't have to say that. And I know this boy is not just a mouth thing. He's actually very good with his children also. So I don't see what excuse he has. He just needs to
I don't know.
But it's like Sister N said, it's about him being ready to do it. That I'm saying, if that particular guy, if his name is John or whatever, if John said to Peter, "You'll go and see your child," it really depends. Even though it's his brethren, right? It really depends on the level of respect for what this guy has to say he has. Not that he's not his friend, you know, but when it comes to directing his friends, when it comes to John directing Peter's sociological behavior or parental behavior, maybe he isn't the person that he would listen to. There's got to be somebody that everyone listens to, isn't there?
Yeah, I understand that, and believe me, we've tried both. I mean, I know both of our families have tried. I know his mother is a very good woman, this, that, and the other, but to be honest with you, we need to treat him as if he's an adult.
Yeah. Well,
you know, there's no disrespect whatsoever. He needs to do that.
We knocked that on the head straight away when we said that, the maturity, because 9 out of 10 times it has something to do with the level of maturity, because there's a lot of issues inside people that they can't deal with, and it's to do with the upbringing, it's to do with the way they see the world, it's to do with a lot of things. You know, the whole baby father syndrome, baby mother syndrome. As Sister N said, if we put it out to London and see what people are thinking, because you know there's so many individual cases, and you can strike so many individual notes about the you know there's so many situations I know about women who've had children just because they want them, and then after they've had them, they decided that they want the baby father in their life, and when the baby father doesn't want to be in their life, they now rechange the story to make it seem as if it was a baby father's fault. You know, there's so many different stories that you know, it's sad in that sense. Yeah, it's sad in that sense, but I understand what you're saying. It's about, if he might love his child, but he just might not have the correct way of expressing it. He might not have the way, like when we was growing up, you know, I remember many stories of people getting beaten with all kinds of sticks and this and that, and the parents would say that they love them. You know what I'm saying? But when you look back at it now, you think, how can you love me and then you was beating me in my head with a stick? You get what I'm saying? So it's unusual the way people say they love, and it's you know, and the way they manifest it. But what we do, in terms of your individual case, I think there does need to be a focus on his mentality to see, well, what is it about our relationship why you can't do what you're doing, and what is it about the kind of lifestyle that you're living why you can't do what you're doing. And then when you work out that, then you're able to move on. But if you can't work it out, then you can't move on. It's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It won't go. And it's like, as Sister N was saying, it's like a force thing, trying to force him. And then, you know, like if he's got that kind of rebellious kind of level where immaturity even, you're just like, well, I ain't gonna do that because I'm here telling me what to do. You know what I'm saying? That could develop in him. You get what I'm saying? Even though he might want to do it, he starts saying, everybody's telling me to do this. Because I know I've been like that. Everybody's telling me to do that. I ain't doing that.
So I'm going to do something else.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is what he's actually doing because I don't know. Well, I'm just giving you different scenarios to say, well then, as a human being, you know, he has issues too. But to get to them is from this point, it's very hard.
Boy.
Thanks a lot, yeah?
Alright, take care.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, you heard that? London, it's like, boy, it's deep out there, man.
Actually, that actually brings me to another issue which I thought I'd put to London before I get the next caller come through, and it's also something I think Rosanna mentioned when she talked about her workshops about how do you want to be loved. In my practice, where I do a load of things ranging from looking at people's health, right, physical health, right through to looking at people's mental and emotional health, I find that I see a lot of people from different walks of life. But the one category of people that I hardly ever see is our brothers, really, the black man. And I'm thinking, either he's superhuman and he doesn't have any issues to deal with, or he's hiding from his issues. I don't know. So, you know, I'd like to know, you know, what it is. Or do they not want to support my business? I'm not quite sure which one it is. But I wonder why there's, on my books or amongst the people that I see, I don't really see the brothers. You know, Doctah is just saying ego. I don't know, maybe they're shy. I don't know, ego, shy, or not connected to themselves enough to know that really they need to deal with certain things. To me, it's no big deal. All of us have got health issues to look at, or that we can improve on, and whether it's mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual. So there's no big deal in dealing with that because that's what moves us all forward. I'll take this call.
Hello, could you give me the name and telephone number of your organisation, please?
Which organisation?
You said that you actually work with an organisation where you do counselling and you deal with people's health.
Yeah, that's right. It's called Accelerated Learning and Therapy Centre.
Accelerated
Learning
Mm-hmm.
and Therapy Centre.
Okay.
And it's called that because I suppose it reflects who I am. I'm quite an impatient person. I like solutions to things quickly, whether it's through learning or education, or whether it's through the health and well-being.
Right.
I do believe that things can be solved or things can be moved along quickly, and that's why it's called that.
Right, okay. Would you be able to give me the telephone number?
Yes, it's 020
020
8
8
yeah, and it's 551
551
5551.
5551. It's just that a couple that I know, they're sort of like experiencing some relationship problems, and the male in the relationship went to his GP, and his GP referred him to the Maudsley, is it the Maudsley Mental Institution? So I was just, I want to find out about some counselling organisations that deal with like men, black men.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, when you just now said,
Yeah.
that's what.
Well,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you very well, sis. Loud and clear. But
Okay, I can't hear you, so I'm going to put the phone down,
Okay.
yeah, and listen to you on the radio.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye. Why can't you hear?
Why can't you hear? Well, anyway, the question for me would be, why Maudsley? I don't understand. Maudsley is one of those. Because we can hear you clearly. Actually, we're just fixing the phone. Maudsley is one of them places for, you know, basically people who've had nervous breakdowns and, you know, nervous dispositions and mental problems. Is it a mental problem he's got? Why? That's what I wanted to get, but you cut off. I wanted to know whether he had a mental problem. I wouldn't understand why his doctor. I would say this. that would really get me going. Sister Ed's trying to calm me down here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Maudsley? You get what I'm saying? Because you got a problem with your wife, you need to go into a mental institution, or you need to go to see people about. I don't know. Maybe these are part of the problems that were happening in our community.
I'm very sure the man isn't mental, but they do tend to, if he's excitable, like some people we know, you know, some people might consider, especially a poor little doctor, might consider that he's got a problem. I don't know what it is and why that is. Yeah. But having said that, a lot of people that come to me now don't even actually need counselling. I seem to deal with a kind of category of people who have gone beyond that. Most people, I think, are fairly aware of what their issues are in terms of their needs or their strengths or weaknesses or the problems that they might be facing or the challenges that they have to meet in their daily life. Most people want to look at it in a deeper way and make some deeper and internal changes, and that's with health or well-being, and includes mental health as well.
So are you saying that most people already know what their issues are? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but most people know what their issues are. Most people are actually consciously working towards dealing with their issues, but somehow without them, no matter what their efforts are, they find themselves back to square one again.
So if that's the case, then why have we got so many single parents and so many? If everybody's working towards their issues, we should have less of that, shouldn't we?
Yes, but I think a lot of the problems go deeper than people consciously working towards the issues. This is what my experience is anyway. A lot of the issues are on a subconscious level. So although the conscious mind says, I want to change A, B and C, yeah, there's the subconscious mind, which is like the hidden agenda within ourselves, has another message there that might say, you know, you don't actually deserve this, or you're not capable of doing this, or you can't be successful in your job, your business, your relationship, or whatever it might be. And a lot of that is like a deep-seated programming that they pick up from childhood stuff, experience.
Okay, so what I don't understand. What would it be in a childhood experience? What would it be in a childhood experience where someone would you know, have these kind of untended to issues within them and not realizing that they have them? How would you know what? How do you know it as a counsellor? How would you know how to bring that out or suss that?
Well, I'm not a counsellor. But yeah,
you know, when you're counselling
that's
someone,
boring. Huh?
when you're counselling someone.
When I'm working with, as I say, when I'm working with people, I don't know. I suppose the only thing I can do is give a typical example. Okay, such as I'll give you a typical example of a doctor I was actually working with. He wasn't actually in this country, and so I can safely talk about this issue. But she was about 30, late 30s, and she displayed quite a lot of self-destructive behaviour, and that was in the form of overworking herself, over drinking, underfeeding, over drinking, alcohol, that is, and she also used to bite the insides of her mouth without even, she found herself just doing, did you? Oh, well, come and see me, right? Yeah, she used to bite the inside of her mouth, and she couldn't, it was like a habit that she had, and she was aware she did it, but she didn't know why. And I think the only awareness she had of herself at this stage when I saw her was that she recognised she was a bit hard on herself and destructive, yeah? But in looking at the way I work, which is a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit unconventional, but whoever wants to find out in another way in another time, I got to her main issue straight away, and her issue was unforgiveness of herself. And going into it, all this took place in the first session. Going into it a bit deeper, we got to that when she was 18, and she was now about 36, 37 when the time I was seeing her, she actually had an abortion. But because she was studying to be a doctor, and for her it was quite a clinical decision, I can't afford to stop this course I'm doing, I have to have an abortion now. She just did it thinking that was it, put it behind her, not realising that she had, at a deeper level, internalized a lot of negative emotion and a lot of negative feelings around the fact that she had this abortion. And so out in that session, all of that was very deep within came out. The only thing is, ordinary counselling wouldn't have actually brought that out in one session, yeah, because the way she had buried it, she'd actually nearly forgotten, and it was me that put it to her that this had happened to her. And that is how she managed to, get to that issue in that session. So that's just an example of how sometimes we go through things. Another thing is I do a lot of issues where things happen in the womb or at birth. Yeah, issues happen to people at birth. Like another woman, she was always having head injuries and headaches, and there always seemed to be this things used to happen to her head all the time. And going back into it, we found that at the time of her birth and a couple of weeks henceforth, this was a black woman. Most black babies, as we know, have quite a lot of hair at birth. She was a bit unique in that she had a shiny bald head, and a lot of people in her family spent a lot of time touching her head, laughing at her bald head, making comments on it, and somehow, it was done, I think, out of the goodness of their heart, but somehow the baby had taken issue with it, because the baby hasn't got any conscious mind to reason things out. The baby is just subconscious. It's just a subconscious, which is the part of us that absorbs everything. That's all they've got. And so whatever vibes or energy or feelings or thinking or saying that you put out around the baby's just absorbing it like a sponge absorbs water. Yeah? So don't think just because the baby can't talk, it can't feel, and it can't internalize stuff. So she had taken in all this, and it actually manifested in later years as her having a load of head issues, which is kind of weird, So, but it's quite, there's a lot out there that we need to know about ourselves, and I deal with it every day, and it's interesting, and it's enlightening, because people, once they get to these issues, can actually make fundamental changes quite quickly. But as I said before, I don't see the brothers, so I want to know what superhuman formula that they've got, that they don't have any issues.
Oh, then let me and you take this up for London, then, yeah? What do you think you can do for me? You get what I'm saying, as a brother, you know what I'm saying? You're a woman, what do you know? You don't know nothing about men. What do you know?
I don't know, but if you talk to me, I'm sure I can find something.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though. Why would a man want to go to you and try for you to find out something? Why? What he would want to know from the beginning. What you know?
Okay, we're going to have a live counselling session now, and my first contender is Dr. X from Genesis Radio. for example, there must be something in your life where you consciously try and make a change, because you're clever, you're intelligent, you know yourself to a certain extent, and you're probably striving in your daily life to make changes, improve certain areas. But don't you find that in certain areas you might actually find yourself back to square one quite often?
Yeah, but alright then, let's be hypothetical, because we're using me and I'm not a good example.
You're getting shy now, you see?
No, what I'm saying is that I understand what you're saying. What I'm trying to do is like to create a visual for people out there listening. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to use myself though, because I've got I think that I do what you said, so that would make me too much of a positive candidate. I want somebody who likes to go to the bookies, for instance, and what my issue is that what can't I put on a horse, and I want to go to the dance, and more time I want to build a spliff. I just sit there, I want to build my little spliff, and what is wrong with me if these are my issues, if this is how I want to live my life. I can't, it's not all the time I can find time to go and look for my children. You get what I'm saying? It's not all the time that, and I see them as often as I can. So, you tell me what it is wrong with me, why my baby mother's just on me all the time.
The issue, the kind of examples that you've given, which were wanting to do certain things like go to the bookies, those aren't issues for people unless they become blocks in their lives. Yeah? So if somebody, in fact this is interesting because I was doing an assertiveness training course for a mental health charity the other day, and a brother there, he brought this up. He says, well, he said he's got a problem because he likes to spend his money, he wastes his money. And I said, well, how do you waste your money? And he said he wastes his money on because he likes to bet on the horse and he likes to drink. He doesn't bet excessively and he doesn't drink excessively, but he likes to do it. So as far as he was concerned, he was wasting his money. But I said to him that, well, do you manage to, when you get up in the morning, do you manage to pay your bills with the money that you've got? Yeah. Do you manage to eat food and do you consider yourself healthy because you're managing to use your money to buy decent food for yourself? Yes. Okay then. Do you manage to do anything else? Do you have a clean house and decent furniture and something to present yourself with? Yeah. Do you dress okay? Yeah. So therefore, if over and above that he chooses to go to spend his money, because he says he does it for the fun of it. Well, some people go shopping for fun and other people go out raving for fun and do or go on holiday. He doesn't have a lot. He likes to go to and put something on the horses from time to time. I personally didn't see that as a problem for him. So we're not looking at everybody's issues are individual. Yeah, it very much depends on how it's affecting them. If the issue is in their opinion, in their own opinion, not in anybody else's, appears to be holding them back from achieving, from going further, and achieving is their own definition of achievement, not mine. If it seems to be stopping them from relating or going as far as the vision they have for themselves, then it's an issue. Yeah, but it's not really about what other people think. It's about what they feel and what they think. If they feel cool within themselves with whatever they're doing, then they haven't got an issue. But what I do believe though is that most people out there want more for themselves, and it's when they want more for themselves, whatever that might be, and they can't do it for whatever reason, that's that little bit that they need to come and kind of release for themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so alright then, so if we're using that, but so why have we got such a problem in our community then? You get what I'm saying? If that's the case, because alright then, if it's alright for one man to have 7 baby mothers and how many whatever, or be loose in terms of. Hello? Yeah, okay. It's not in terms of being whatever. What are their issues? What are the issues with some mothers then who I don't know, because we've heard these stories, mothers have children at a very early age, and it's only because they're lacking something in their growth as younger people, as children, that they want a child, and they latch onto the child, and only afterwards they start thinking about the father, because it's almost like a company in their house and blah blah blah. So we've got all these other issues. I know they're individual, but yeah, they're still there. And what I'm trying to figure out from you is that what is it that you'd have to look at in order to kind of start to work out, well, why are we having these issues in our community? You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody's left to be, if this man who's got 7 and is about to go on his 8, and he doesn't feel no way about it, then that's okay then, is it?
it's okay if he's okay, and it's the people who he's having these children for are okay. But it's highly likely that everybody isn't okay, because when I do talk to the odd man who's got children out there, quite often I think contrary to most people would believe, most of the time they're not very happy about it, and they don't feel as if they want to have children that they can't live with and be with and bring up. I think most men don't. But the problem with them is that perhaps they still feel like victims. So to me, their issue would be, if they're happy with it, fine. But if they're not happy with it, which many of them aren't, then they need to get to grips with taking control. They might have an issue of they lack a certain kind of control over things. So they're constantly apologising for what they've done, or they might be always feeling like, well, she chose to have the baby, I didn't. Okay, then what could you have done to have changed this? And you probably find that they might have patterns of that type of thing. You can probably look at their lives and find it's not just about having babies they didn't ask for. You might find there's a lot of things that they end up having or having to put up with or experience that they didn't want as well. Do you understand? If you look at it deeper, you probably find that it's just a pattern, and the baby issue is just part of that pattern. Do you understand? So that's it really.
So there's a deep psychological, what do you call it, subconscious thing happening in our community. But do you have any idea of where that would even stem from? That whole kind of, feeling why we're so...
I think a lot of, gosh, as many people as we see, the issues are quite unique to each person. But overall, there's big issues of low self-esteem. Yeah. There's big issues of not letting go. Yeah. So something happens, instead of us to say, boy, that was an experience, but I'm going to use it to move myself on, you kind of hang on to that experience. And once you hang on to experience, it's hard to move forward, because a lot of your energy is just based in the past and old baggage, rather than releasing it to just move yourself on. You understand? So I call that vengefulness. A lot of issues are about feelings of rejection, or feelings of resentment over things. There's a lot of those things, and I know sometimes as black people, we feel justified in having some of these feelings, because we know what we've been through, which enables us, which keeps us in with that kind of emotion. But it's for us to sort of break that cycle so that we can actually take more control of our lives. So that's it really.
Sorry, if you want to take part in this debate, that's 07940186067. That's 07940186067. As you heard Sister N, we were just trying to debate the issues in our community in terms of, because when a woman phoned up and said that the guy, Doctah, said that husband should go to Mosley, it kind of knocked us a bit and was wondering what's that all about? You get what I'm saying? But I figured to myself that people are quite as we listen to the issue that we're talking about, and people are scared. They're scared to expose their issues. They're scared to deal with them, isn't it? Because I'm sure there's people out there listening and going, well, boy, whatever, I'm thinking, whatever. You get what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's what this is all about. Because somehow, throughout our evolution, this innate fear that we have, if it's egotistical, you get what I'm saying? Because there's male and female ego, you get what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it's getting in the way of our development and our progress. You get what I'm saying? As a people, as a race, you get what I'm saying? Because you have to have some kind of collective, psyche. You know what I'm saying? That's why people join different organisations and different religions and stuff like that, because they're hoping that the psyche of that particular organisation, whatever, appeals to them. So as a radio station, you know what I'm saying, or as a People's Talkshow, we develop different issues and trying to find out, okay, let's see what you're saying. All the people then were quick to come and say, yeah, well, if we went together and we worked together, black people would move forward and this and that. Those people have got issues too. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, but when it comes to these emotional kind of deep-rooted, subconscious kind of or whatever, it's like people start getting like, get a bit scared. So we're trying to impassion you, yeah, to give us a call at 07940186067 and see if we can take the issue a little bit further. What is your ideas on that? What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying? Do you as a woman, do you think that men have you experienced that men have a lot of issue? As a man, have you experienced that women have a lot of issue in terms of understanding the male psyche or whatever? Or, you know, or what? I think there's 1,001 questions. And Sister M, you know, she's well equipped to deal with that particularly. You can hear her voice. It's nothing like mine because it's all smooth and nice and, you know, calm. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the call. Hello, caller. Hello? You're correct, it's cutting up. Hold on, one second. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, now, what people have to realise that as black people, we have it in our genes, okay? Because 1957, they started these DNA experiments, and they find that we have such capability in our genes. Now we have to realise that within ourselves and develop it.
To do what? What capacity in our genes?
The capacity to understand, to believe, to have strength in ourselves so that it can relate to our family unit. Because it has been destroyed.
For
you
what?
See, when we start to believe in ourselves.
Where was it? You said it has been destroyed. When was it realised and when was it destroyed?
Sorry?
Because you said it was destroyed, I just wanted to know when it was realised for it to be destroyed. Capacity realised, because you said it's been destroyed, so I just wanted to know where do you think it was realised?
I think it was realised from the first time that the brethren sold the first man across to cross over to the Atlantic. That's when we realised that we had lost it. From that very moment that we traded our brethren for necklace then.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if I just take the further? But if that's the case, then
what we have to do is that we have to realise it's still in us and believe in it and bring it out of us again, because you see, there's a generation that has been lost. Okay, that I should think the generation from the age of 19 to 28, they are lost.
But if I could just argue that point, that's like in a sense going backwards. And I think that if the only way you can truly get back to really move anyway is to go forward. And I think that from the moment that as you said, they sold the first slave, that means we have developed into something else, as far as I'm aware.
That's right. But we have developed because of external factors. But the internal factors that we have in us, it's still in us.
Well, what I was going to say to that is, if you're saying that the issues that we as black people had took place when we first started to sell ourselves, I would then go down your argument and say, well, perhaps it took place even beyond that, before that, because if we had, say, principles about how we deal with our families, how we deal with our own people, and at that stage, I think some of the maybe richer people in that society felt in order to trade, they had to trade their brothers and sisters or daughters or sons to certain people across the waters in exchange for more riches. Then there must have been some kind of breakdown in their psyche, in their feelings or their principles or their emotional stability or mental or spiritual stability before they even started to sell their own people.
Okay, well, I'm afraid I have to disagree. As far as I'm concerned, there was no breakdown. The breakdown became when we were enticed by these things.
Yeah, but that's not that's us. I mean, yeah, we were enticed, but that's the same as saying that, you know, somebody tells you to cross the road when the bus is coming, and somebody, you know, maybe they hold up a bar of chocolate, because that's the kind of thing that will get me across the road, right, when the bus is coming, and you go running across the road. Whereas if you've got something a bit stronger within yourself, you're going to say, I can't go down there much as I would like that bar of chocolate, because I might end up dead. You know, you have to take, me as black people, have to take responsibility for what happened to us. Why were we so weak that we allow ourselves to be enticed? And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We've got to stop blaming externally and start looking at, our own inner weaknesses that allows us to be in the position that we're in.
Okay, your argument to the bus stop really parallel to what has happened to us, because, it's not a parallel level. But what I'm saying is that we are not blaming we're not blaming where we are because of external factors that have happened to us. But it changed because of the external factors. We have to respond to that. Now, what we have to realize, they have happened already, and as far as I'm concerned, they have happened for a good reason. Now, we mustn't fall down on that. We must realize that we are still capable. You see, if we realize that, we can do something.
When you say...
But because of, society, especially with a male, they are not letting go of our males. Okay? They are hanging on to our males because they know that the male has a dominant character in reproduction, for example.
Yeah, well, I'd like to go back to something you said. I'd like you to clarify that to London. You said that it happened to us for good reason. Now, I'm a believer that, everything we go through is a lesson. Even the things that we put ourselves into, somehow there's a lesson. Can you elaborate on what you mean by it happened to us for good reason?
Because if we hadn't gone across, okay, what would have happened? It would have stayed there and been enticed. And believe me, if the crossing hadn't happened, Africa would have been in a worse situation than it is now.
If what hadn't happened? Slavery?
Yes.
So you're saying if slavery didn't happen, that Africa might have been worse than what it is now?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Huh?
Why do you say that, please?
Because the people that they took over, the cousins and the families that they took over the years, 150 years, 200, they have become brighter, right? To be able to go into the mechanism of the West, and hopefully take that experience that they've had, go into the mechanism of the West, the way they do things, and plant it back in Africa.
No, listen. I definitely don't agree with that. You get what I'm saying? Because it really depends on what you know about Africa pre-slavery and what you know post-slavery. What I'm saying is that that we had most of what they know, these people know, it's taken from Africa. Most of all this newfound things that they're finding now was already here. They haven't found anything new. So we haven't got brighter. In fact, if we got brighter, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. What has happened is that we've been indoctrinated. That's a difference. What's happened is that we've survived the colonialism. That's what's happened. We ain't got brighter. Because brighter would mean that we'd have closer families, we'd be a more evolved race, we'd have less war within our community, we'd be more together. That's what brighter would mean. It wouldn't mean intelligence, because the whole of human race gets intelligent as time goes on, by my understanding.
You see, the point is, we have got brighter, because what I'm saying to you, if they didn't bring the cousins across, they would have still been niggling at Africa. But because they brought a certain lot of people across, those people have benefited, and they've opened the eyes of the rest of black nations, including Americans.
No, I mean that's just presupposing, really. That is no way.
It's evidence.
No, but it's not evidence. No, what you're doing is presupposing, because
I'm not presupposing, it's evidence.
How can it be evident and it never happened?
It has happened.
What has happened?
It has happened.
No, you're saying it would have been worse if this never happened. I'm saying, but that never happened. That didn't happen. The fact that you don't have no evidence to say that if this never happened, there's no evidence of that. So how can you know that to be true?
Okay, fine. Let me give you a quick example. Listen.
Yeah.
Right now, if you go to some nice part of Africa, they don't want to live there. They want to come over here.
You're still presupposing. What you're missing out is the fact that the reason why they want to come over here is because all the resources from the country are being milked to places like this, and those places are being downtrodden. So therefore, they want to come. Obviously, if the West creates this ideal world, then they're going to want to come to it. It's not because
but this ideal world, there is no future in this ideal world. So the people that came over have learned better to think hopefully. stay there and develop the place instead of coming over. We have seen what is on the other side.
Sorry, you're sounding like
Right, we have seen it. So it is for our benefit that it has happened. Don't let's not look down on it.
No way for our benefit. No way.
Of course it is for our benefit.
No way. That's no to me. There's no way you can call slavery for our benefit. That means that we was a worthless people.
Because they would have still been in there, and we would have been innocent of their manifest deal. I mean, look at Zimbabwe now. Zimbabwe is on top of it.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe is doing the right thing.
Yeah, but they're trying to throw out, it's a bit more complex than that. They're trying to throw out Mugabe at the same time. But what I'm saying to you is this: it's very, very complex. And to presuppose that if we weren't slaves, we would have ended up in a worse. I've got lots of people that could give you a totally different
because
argument.
They would have manipulated everything to the maximum.
Sorry?
They would have manipulated everything further to the maximum.
That's speculation.
But because the people that came out, they became bright to the mechanism of the West, and it is their brightness now that is going to build up Africa. Not the Africans that are there, because all they want to do is come over here and they don't know the immigration and the suffering and there's so much going on. So it's better that we came, we learned, we've seen the mechanism of the West, we've seen their history, we've seen everything, we see where they come from, and we even know where they're going. So we got to say, stop. Our children, ready, let's go back, instead of being here in the future to go further into the mechanism.
What I understand,
anywhere.
There's no back to go to. Let's go forward as far as I'm concerned. Because
when I mean back, I mean forward.
Right, but once you...
I don't mean back.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, I'm saying once you've engaged, right, in a European relationship or a historical relationship, you cannot close the door on that evolvement. You get what I'm saying? So going back, we're going to bring back all the bad things as well as the good things, and they're not in my and a lot of people's estimation anyway, are good people. So what I'm saying is that you're saying that it would have been better without them. But I totally disagree, and there's no way I can prove that it would be better or worse. But what I can say is that it might be easier to put it out to the rest of London to see if anybody else has got any views on that. You get what I'm saying? Because I definitely disagree. Yeah, thanks a lot for your call.
Bye-bye.
Hey, bye. Yeah, that was deep. That's the first time I heard that. Somebody saying that we deserve to be slaves, and in the sense that we would have been we're better off now than if we just remained slaves, if we didn't get put into slavery. I really found that amazing. Personally, that's a new one on me, because I haven't had that argument before. What do you think?
Maybe the sister is saying, because I think the only benefit of what we've been through, and that's whether it's slavery or anything else, the only benefit of yesterday and what we've experienced is that we've learned from it. So hopefully we'll learn something from it. But I wouldn't go as far as saying that, if it didn't happen, things would have been worse, because that is just pure speculation. I don't think that's an argument we can give for any situation that anyone's been in, because it happened because it did, and it did, so that hopefully we can learn something from it to bring us back to the source. Yeah. Good afternoon. Who's calling, please?
Genesis?
Yes, Genesis.
Okay. Hey, my name is Authur.
Authur?
From Lucian.
Okay, Authur from Lucian. What have you got to say, please?
Hello?
Hello? Authur from Lucian? Yes, we can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay then. First of all, regarding your workshop, can I have your phone number?
Mine? Oh.
Your workshop.
It's 020.
Sorry?
020.
020.
Yeah. 8.
Yeah.
551.
Yeah.
5551. 51.
It's 020 855.
No, 020 8. Yeah. 551.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
5551. And it's not so much which workshop are you talking about? The workshop on which workshop are you talking about? You're talking about the centre that I run.
You said you run a workshop, don't you?
I run a centre.
Centre, yeah.
Yeah. But the workshops that we were talking about earlier.
No, your center. No, I want your center. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's the number then.
That's the number, is it?
Is that Authur? Yeah, this is Doctah Ed.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm not so bad, man. I'm just driving along. I'm in a call box, but it's not so nice. It's a bit noisy.
Okay. I thought you was asking her for her number.
Hey?
I thought you was asking her for her number. No, I'm joking.
No.
Yeah, how you doing? Did you get the issue that was said earlier on?
With the lady?
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I'm in the car and driving along. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've listened to her. I think she got it all wrong personally. Yeah?
Okay. I would agree.
Yeah, my point of view. I mean, she's saying that, we have benefited and moved forward in the sense, and that we reverse off with in Africa. Like I said before, she has to go back another 600 years and say exactly what position we are.
Exactly.
What position was Europe at that particular time.
Exactly.
Right? And secondly, if we move forward within Europe within the last 600 years, so therefore Europe has benefited from us.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we're going to move back, therefore Europe will have to move back.
Okay, yeah. And are we more brighter now than we ever was?
That's the point. She have to prove we're brighter.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think we should understand time moves and man sort of use certain things to move forward, like in science, technology. You know? I mean, for example, if she's saying that we have benefited so much, we've done so much. Okay, well, Europe underdeveloped Africa at the same time, and so therefore, put it like this then. Can you imagine that Europe couldn't get take a country like in South Africa, where Europe couldn't get cobalt, right? And Europe couldn't get uranium.
Yeah.
So what would happen then? So therefore, certain things they've developed, say, last 400 years, where would they get the material from then?
That's right.
Therefore, they wouldn't have developed, would they? Because they wouldn't be able to have that material.
Yes, right. Without ransacking a country, they wouldn't have been able to ransacking many countries. In fact, they wouldn't be able to develop themselves. I think it's a bit of a fantasy, personally.
No, you can't. That will never happen.
You see what I'm saying?
That will never. I mean, what she's talking about, I mean, for example, if a man in Europe at the present time and you're coming down in Africa, you feel as an individual you want to take your children down there and work on a project for the progressive African country. There's nothing wrong with that.
Great stuff. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's the idea that we all, every time somebody says, oh, we need to go back to Africa. One man said on the show the other day that I don't want to go and live back in the bush. Why on earth do I want to go and live back in the bush? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't make me a wrong or an African person. You get what I'm saying? So these are the points I'm trying to make. You can't presuppose by putting your particular mindset on a particular issue or subject and stamp yourself on it by saying, if we all went back to Africa, we'd be better off. If we all went back to the bush, if we all were a road, we'd be better off. I don't understand that, personally.
No, if people understand, things have changed and time moves on. Everybody moves in time. We are interdependent on each other. I think people get the wrong idea that Europe could develop without us. Like hell they would. I mean, you have to look at the question of South America. I mean, all those buildings in South America, those great things, they were built by slave labor and African wealth, African everything. So if you were to take away everything, they would have nothing there.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So, do you think that with the stock market the way it is and the shares the way they are, do you think that one day we're going to wake up and they're going to say, here, we're going to give you all back your gold, all your diamonds, everything, and we're going to remain broke? Do you think they're going to do that? I don't. That is beyond me. You get what I'm saying? So if anybody thinks that this idea of going back to Africa is going to be like that one day, they're going to forgive us our sins and give us everything that they took from us, or even the Native Americans, or even the Morais of Australia, or even the Aborigines of Australia, the Morais of New Zealand. You get what I'm saying? Can you imagine this? They're just going to go back to being barbarians and a load of hair all over their face and all over their body.
Yeah, of course.
They're not going to do it. That's the reason why they came into our country in the first place.
You see, what we have people must understand, we can't just, it's like a train, we start the train, we can just jump off the train 1 minute.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm stopping here. and what about your children then? Where are you going to put them then?
That's right, and their generations. How do you convince them that fish and chips ain't no good for you? You get what I'm saying? It's something that they like to eat. I'm not saying that, you know. Yeah, I'm saying once something's moved forward, it doesn't move backwards. She was saying about she's saying back as in forward. But there's no way we ain't even all gonna fit anymore. The amount of us on the planet, we all can't even fit. Like it's like all of us going back to Jamaica. Do you think we can fit?
People must stop behaving like this planet belongs to the European. European is so dominant that we can't do anything to go in Europe. And you know, it's to me the sign of inferior complex. Really.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, the European man can move into Africa and do what he wants to do, right? We were put in a position with strength, right? And so, well, we can do this, and we're going to do this regardless of where we are.
What?
We'll have to pay some consequence for it.
What I'm saying, Authur, we need to develop something new, a new tactic, because we cannot. It's not that it's going to be easy to fight them in a physical war. It's never going to be easy. They're lots of years ahead of us. That's why even in the war in Zimbabwe or Rwanda, it's the West that provides them with the guns because the West makes them. So you know, the attitude that we're going to have, it's got to be a lot deeper than let's grab some arms and go and fight them. They are barbarians. They will destroy at the drop of the hat. They've done it so many times, and they're trying to be more civilized now. But you can't wipe out their history. Their history doesn't disappear just because they give us NHS over here. You get what I'm saying? Their history doesn't disappear. So I don't understand this idea what people have of we're doing better because no, that just doesn't sit well with me.
But what I think people, like I said before, what maybe she's talking about, we can support as we move on in the society and maybe in America, whatever, we can support our brothers in the continent.
Okay,
better,
that's fair, yeah.
And influence them in a different degree.
Okay, that's fair, yeah, I agree with that. Because, exactly, I would agree with that. Like the Irish Americans supported the Irish in Ireland.
Of course.
Yes, yeah, because we can't, there's no back going. We have to develop and we have to move forward. So wherever we're at, we have to build up from that point on. We can't all go wait for this heaven on earth and we'll go back to being Africa living with, something wrapped around our waist or something. You know what I'm saying? Because we've had all this exposure. All our generations have had this exposure to this. Only the people who live in these islands, who've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years and haven't changed. Yeah, they're cool. But the minute you put change into them, then change remains there for the rest. It passes itself on through the genetic and through the generational structure.
One other thing I must remind the call as well, what she was talking about, we have learned and we have built in Europe. You see, when I'm going back a little bit, but it's historical, that's fact that when Vasco da Gama, Marco Polo went East Africa, they saw people using a sewage flush toilet, and they copied it to take it to Europe.
Okay.
So we didn't come to Europe, people didn't come to Europe to learn that.
That's right. No, this is what see, this is what I'm saying about knowledge and stuff like that. Some people, I'm not disrespect to them. Some people haven't gone that well. They've developed a theory or a thought pattern, but haven't delved that deeply into the fullness of our history and the fullness of even the European history and the wars and stuff like that. So sometimes people say things based upon the limited knowledge they have of what has taken part. And it's only when somebody like yourself or somebody who they would even respect as a knowledgeable person comes in and says, well, that didn't actually happen, So if you think on that level, you're thinking in a fantasy world, because what you're saying happened, even though that's your perception of what happened, that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's distorted.
It's distorted, that's the word. Their reality or their truth is distorted because the facts are not what they're saying they are. Like saying that Mugabe's doing some. There's a guy who speaks, Trevor. He speaks on the show very often. He's so up on all these issues that he would lose me. You get what I'm saying in terms of the African issue and all that. But these people who we might think, they're doing a great thing now. There's lots of stuff that Mugabe's done that hasn't been deflected.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like trying to find out the truth of this individual. It's not looking at the thing and saying, he should have done this, but maybe he could have done that 10 years ago. Maybe the only reason why he's doing it is because his popularity is waning.
Yeah.
Maybe the fact that he's doing that now is because he first of all gave all the farm to his own people, the rich people then, when he did have a chance. But now that he realizes that he's out, the point I'm trying to make is that there's deeper issues when people start to have an opinion about something without willing to be learning or willing to restructure their thinking. That's why we have this negative attitude.
And anyway, we haven't got, even in Zimbabwe, we haven't got our own people on the ground to give our independent, view of what was taking place over the last 20 years.
See?
We depend on the European, what they say. from their point of view.
Of course, even with Ghana, even with the independence of Ghana, it's the same, isn't it? The independence of Ghana was minded by white people, colonialists. So when people are saying Ghana was the first independence, it means it was the first new way of dealing with black people for white people. Doesn't mean that you was independent. What's his name again? Nkrumah and all that. People were being balanced and puppeteered by white people. The information that they were getting was from white colonialists. Things they were doing was from white people. White people was supervising their whole evolution. You get what I'm saying? So when people think that, oh, black man is this and black man is that, it's because we have never really been truly free of our colonialists.
That's right.
And now Pakistan and India are trying to free themselves, and it will probably take another 20, 30 years before they start to really drift away from England. Now England has to start to have white Muslim, Asian MPs, you know what I mean? You have to start, when people start to get power, you start to give way to them, right? Now the only people that, I don't see no MP with no power, because they don't have to give way. I don't see anybody with any real power, just position.
Well, I mean, okay, let's just take an example then. You take for instance oil. You take oil, right?
Yeah.
If the West can develop without say black countries, then why does America want to declare war on the people of oil? Would give oil? What America would do? America would want to bomb you because they know everything will come to a standstill.
Simple. Yeah. You see, this is where the level of knowing and not knowing comes from. Why are we so looking at them thinking that white people do things so greatly when they're still trying to master every other country, and they're trying to make it seem as if that's not what they're doing. That's silly. I mean that this is the level of, I suppose, when we've got so many dance halls and so many R&B and rap and all that, just talking about dance and have a laugh and and all that kind of stuff. Why we're not that intelligent about the issues. When there is not a mass exposure, I suppose it's more like a socialistic value, isn't it?
Right.
And because we live in more of a democratic, more of a capitalist type state, they also manipulate the media and all the things that we need in order to feed ourselves and be real about ourselves.
Yeah. What other thing? I'm gonna just dive a little bit. I was listening to your program last night, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
And last week as well. I was trying to call this week before last week.
It was a taped actually. It was a tape. They were both tape shows.
Not last week.
Yeah, they were both tapes running.
Oh.
Because I'm changing the name of it and stuff. So.
Okay. I was wondering what's happening,
right. Yeah,
but anyway, I've been always listening. Most of my friends are listening, phoning me and asking what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to change the format of my show. I'm changing the name and stuff like that. And I'm going to be by myself because the other two have left. So therefore, I'm going to have to just change it up slightly because I'm going to have to be balancing everything myself. Yeah. So did you have a question?
No. One of the things, your sister inside the studio.
Yeah.
I listened to her quite well, and very, very interested in what she was saying.
Speak to her.
I can't. I'm not going to go down that road about the emotional and love thing. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road.
But this, you see now. But this is what I'm saying though. Why have we as men got a problem with that though?
No, it's not a problem really.
What is it then?
Maybe when I was a bit younger years ago, maybe I would have tried to find certain things out. But I get more older, I'm more easy with myself. I'm more self-assured as I get older about certain things. Okay. So what is it about the rest of the community then? Or the rest of what about your brethren them or people that what is it about us as men whereby we're frightened to deal with the issue of love and openly and stuff like that without being a sap, without going all silly and stupid? I don't have to have friends, but pretty fair, right? You take this up now. Maybe black men for the last 40 years in this country never been exposed to black sisters dealing with the issue regarding their problem. Right? Maybe this generation of black young that be coming up now, maybe they get more exposure, but maybe 25 years ago, you never used to see anywhere where you find that you could go where as a black man to deal with certain issues. You always have to deal with white people to tell you what to do. Good point. Could be the reason why. Yeah, good point. Good point. That's and then I think so anyway. Yeah, that's a very good point.
But I don't even hear from the younger black men either.
Sorry?
I don't even hear from the younger black brothers. Yeah,
but maybe perhaps, like I said before, I'm taking your phone number. I know a young black man got a problem right now. But the reason why I'm taking a number, so I could say, listen, I think perhaps you could bring this number. Yeah. Is my point of view?
Yeah.
But as a black man, I know, for example, young black men, I see them talk to them. I know they got a problem.
But it's not even about, just to try to clarify, it's not even about problems, because I'm not really one that, I don't like to spend a lot of time indulging people in their problems. It is about kind of looking at where you are and finding ways to get rid of baggage, so that, especially the baggage that holds you back, so that you can just move forward. So it's not always about, most people don't come with their head in their hand pouring out their heart to me. You know, most of them are kind of like, I've noticed this about myself, and I noticed that, and I want to just change that. That's the kind of attitude that most people have. It's quite a positive thing, you know. I think those that go with the hand in the head probably end up either with counsellors or psychotherapists or something different, whereas my vibe is kind of different in terms of what I'm looking to do and how the kind of people that come to me, I call it fine-tuning. My place, the Accelerated Learning and Therapy Centre, is about people who want to fine-tune. Yeah, but none of us can ever get complacent about what we achieve in life and where we and how far we can go. And many of us, most people that come, are people that want to go further, and they actually hit upon certain blockages that prevent them from going further. And it's about, okay, let's move those blockages out of the way so that you can actually fulfill your potential as a human being or as a black person. You understand? That's it really. It's not really about, sometimes I do get people that have real problems, but you know, that what we might normally call problems, but it's not just about problems, it's about moving forward.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this, okay, right? I mean, there must be a young black man, like I said before, that need to some fine-tuning. For example, take youngsters who left university, and they're maybe not ease themselves with jobs, maybe they're not so maybe they haven't got this sort of self-confidence in certain things. Maybe, you know, those sort of guys could really talk to you.
Okay, well I do that as well, because that's the education, because I do, you know, it's about education, health and well-being. That's what I do, that's what the centre's about. So I deal with education, I deal with learning. A lot of children that drop out from school, young people that drop out from school, it's about how the issues they had to face at school. It's about nobody in school recognising that they had their own unique way of learning. And so, like, one of the things I do is I assess people's learning styles. Because many of our people, we learn in a different kind of way, and often the children or the people that fall through the system in school, it's because their own unique way of learning hasn't been acknowledged within the school system, and therefore they haven't been catered for, or they might be classed as special needs when really everybody's got a special need. So the centre is also about recognising that everybody has their way of learning, has their way of being, has their own way of processing information, and getting them to understand that about themselves as well. So it's a kind of powerful place, you know, in that respect, because it empowers people to know who they are and to use what they are to move themselves forward. It's not just about counselling and problems and whatever.
I'm with you. I've got before the questions of education, health, self-assurance, certain things. You know, I must be young black men around there need that sort of thing as well. Not only young female, it's got to be underage. Like in the street.
One of the interesting things I've found, that I've had 1 or 2 young black men about 18 that have been actually referred from the local authority. One in particular I'm thinking about, he was really special. He'd been in children's homes since the age of 13, in and out. He was close to his mother but couldn't really live with her. They had this kind of love-hate relationship where he couldn't really live with her, even though he was quite bonded to her as well. He'd been on drugs, he'd been in prison, he'd been through the whole works. And he finally found himself in my place. He was one of the ones I'd say had slight what is normally described as mental issues, which to me wasn't mental issues. It's just that I started talking to him about certain things, and I found that this young boy, had amazing powers. He had the ability to communicate with me without talking. Right? He had the ability. He told me about some of these brethren he hung out with that were drug dealers like himself. And they were able to talk to each other without talking, or they talked to each other in a language that nobody would understand, that only they understood. It's like a certain kind of communication. They'll talk to each other without opening their mouth, you know. And some of that I kind of understood, because I understand that some people have the ability to go to, you know, the spiritual power that we have. It's not even, we haven't even begun to tap it. And many of the young people coming back up, I've noticed, have some of these powers that are coming through, and they're regarded as a mental illness, or the young person, because they haven't got anybody to actually run all of this by. Yeah. It's like they go into themselves, or they don't know how to channel it or use it, and that is also what's classified as like a mental illness. So, you know, this young boy, he was just amazing to me. I was just fascinated by what he knew, what he could do, and yet he had no outlets. You know, I told him things that I thought, oh gosh, what would he know? And he said, I know all this, it's just that I've had no one to talk to about it.
So he was a type of withdrawal.
Yeah. So you listen, we haven't even started to touch what we need to touch yet, not properly anyway. But you know, watch out for the accelerated learning and therapy centre, because that's where we go deeper.
I gotta go because my 5 phone ran down.
Okay, thanks for your call.
Okay then.
And your time.
Take care.
And your money.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So London, there it is. And is anybody else would like to call? It's now, what time is it? We've still got some time. It's just gone 1 o'clock. And the number is 07940 186 067, and you're in tune to Genesis Radio on 91.6 FM.
Yeah, deep. We need to understand that people like Sister N and that kind of ideology of learning and stuff like that needs to be more prevalent. That's how you, if you want to talk about going back, but this is how you go forward. You start to look at the issues that affect us today, not the issues that were good for us yesterday, and start to say, well, right, now let's start looking at the psyche of the black man. Let's start looking at the psyche of the black woman. And you need people, very calm and serene people like Sister N about the place, in contrast to my very excitable manner, which is, you know, if you listen to my show, you can see it gets very wild. I'll just take this call. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Rose from Brixton.
Rose. Okay, hi.
Okay, I was just listening to the show all morning, but the last bit about the accelerated learning.
Okay, yeah.
If you could give me the number, please.
Here we go.
Sounds very interesting, so I think I'd like to have some more information or perhaps visit or whatever.
Okay, the number is 0208
0208
551 5551.
So what do you think of what has been said so far this morning?
Well, very interesting. I was trying to get through, but someone was busy. But the point that I would like to make as well is I did want to ask a question about the situation in Uganda.
Okay.
And this sect calling themselves the restoration, the movement for the restoration.
Oh
of the
no! Yeah. Of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, something like that.
Yeah. It's strange happenings, because I thought, the lady, not Authur, but the lady before, I agreed with you and Sister, and I don't know where she's coming from with that anyway, but I mean that's her opinion.
Of course.
But that ties in as well with, I was trying to relate it to the talk so far, and the self-love, but that sort of exhibited to me a self-hatred, because these people, I wanted to find out, I've never heard of them, I wanted to find out more about them, and why, this mass suicide. It's all crazy.
Yeah, but when you check it out, it hasn't even, lots of it has been murders.
It's
murders,
murders. Oh,
it's murders. It seemed as if it was suicide, but it seems when they've gone into it, they found other graves. They're still finding graves of the same cult, and they've been strangled, their necks have been broken, they've been burned. No way that could be suicide. So it's like what they're saying is that they must have taken part in some ritual whereby they could watch each other get killed. I don't know what that kind of ritual that was.
It really is. When I think about it, because I'm thinking as well, I noticed on the news they didn't show, usually you have some sort of background to the leaders, some information of who these people are, whatever. I don't know, maybe you could tell me something different, but I haven't seen no pictures of them.
No, they're quite invisible, but they're Roman Catholic in origin.
Yeah, that point, and I thought, oh yeah, here we go again. And what intrigued me as well is that the neighbour, when they did report it, as reporting goes, one of the neighbours said that he didn't know what, all this time it was going on. He didn't realise what was going on. And I thought, well, how do you, because all right then, sort of like the culture of Africa, I mean, I'm just speaking from what, I perceive or know, is just that they usually have, it's sort of like a village-like community. Yeah, where people know what's going on. And what intrigued me is that he said he didn't have a clue.
Because why? Because it was done in the name of God. And once the God is doing stuff, then you just mind your own business. Because I've seen pictures of, they've got pictures of, one of the women got pictures of like, the Last Supper. All of these are white pictures of white people. So obviously if you've got a white person running something and he tells you that it's in the name of God, and because of that level of self, or not knowing of self, whether it's self-love or what, or denial of self, you're denied self-expression, whereby if that was happening next door to me, I'd want to know what's going on, because maybe I'm in the West. But because these people are still psychologically damaged by the influx of this Christian ideology, and even the Muslim one, this whole religion ideology, because right now in Nigeria, you've got Muslims killing Christians. You get what I'm saying? Murdering them because one believes in another God to another one. And these people, this is why my personal standpoint is about religion, is that there should be none. You get what I'm saying? Because people murder each other in the name of these different gods. And I don't see how you could want to go to heaven, meanwhile your sect or your part of the religion is, how can that be self-love? There's some deeper rooted stuff, as Sister N was saying, that we need to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely, I was just, when I looked on that, it just made me feel physically sick. There was children, children involved in all this. And, the whole thing, and then again, it's sort of like, this religion thing, which is obviously turning out to be very ugly, but yet, we're in the 21st century, and sort of the sister before was saying that, bright of this and, slavery.
Yeah, exactly, we're bright and
then sort of like to connect it with straight away I thought in my mind, this Uganda thing. Obviously, there's some seriously deep-rooted problems in Africa. We can't sort of, what's the best word for it? But anyway,
romanticize it. It was usually
and fantasize it about, that's the reality. I do like the reality thing. I don't want to be told no story tales. I've been told that all my life.
Okay. So what's your name again? Rose. Rose. What I'm saying now, you see why I'm saying to you that in terms of the 21st century, what we believed in the 17th and the 16th and even the 12th century is not the same. Why on earth do these people insist? What is it about, this is what I was trying to get out of Sister N. What is it about the human psyche, or even the post-slavery psyche, whereby people still want to hold on to old beliefs, that hasn't changed our viewpoint, hasn't redeemed us, hasn't get the people. Might help, like some people was forming to talk about their personal relationship with their God. It might help them individually, but aren't we all part of a collective?
That's it.
Why are you holding on to something that still breaks down the collective? If you want to go back to Africa, that means you have to go to African belief, which is what? Socialistic in its endeavor. So that means that you need something where we become more collective again, not more separate. Muslim here, Sunni there, Christian there, Jehovah's Witness there. That can't help.
It's still the divide and rule.
Roman Catholic there, Anglican there. You get what I'm saying? And that's I keep mentioning to people, when Britain went to war, the homosexuals had to take a back seat, the Anglicans had to take a back seat, the Roman Catholic had to, and they all had to come together in order for their people to survive, to be the way they are today. So if you're claiming that you've been colonized and on whatever, and you're sure of your slave ancestry, then the only way you can surpass that is to come together and throw down all of those belief patterns. And then when you get back your power, then maybe you can want to start war. Maybe war is a part of life, I don't know. But what we need to do first is bring, don't bring none of those things to the table. This is what I'm saying. Religion doesn't make you love better. Jesus doesn't make you love better. Muhammad doesn't make you love and understand your partner better. You get what I'm saying? Those are the things we've been hurt. We've been emotionally destabilized, psychologically messed up over the years. We suffer from what I call the post-traumatic slave syndrome. We are traumatized.
I'm just going to quickly say, I listen to your shows and you have to keep that going. Respect to that, because there is a lot of people out there. The only way I could describe it is still asleep. They must be asleep if they're not conscious of, you know. All right then. For example, how many people? I mean, some people might know, but nanotechnology and all that kind of stuff that is happening. I mean, we have to get in. We have to raise that level of consciousness. We have to get into the sciences. We have to get into the. You know, forget about. I mean, respect to those who want to rap or whatever and that, but too many of us are doing those things. Why, you know, I heard some people say, oh, you know, sort of young youths, they want to be a thing of that, whatever. But why not, you know, more doctors, more scientists, whatever? Because we're going to have to. You know,
of course, because
for us, you know, basic survival. How are we going to survive if we don't know what's going on?
Exactly.
And, you know, and you know, this insistence on being controlled daily. You know, we have to look into these things, examine these things.
Of course.
And you know, that is one of the ways forward. You know, it's use our mind. It's not so. You know, we have to get into that mind thing, and you know, utilizing every, you know, for want of a better word, every cell, everything that's within our power to do.
Of course,
you know,
but we see, you know, me and you sound like we're talking the same thing because I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. But because I'm saying that at the end of the day, you know, NASA, if NASA was to give every person, you know, every immigrant, every black immigrant money, we would all be millionaires. Everyone that's in England now, the amount of money they're spending and going into space, if they gave it all to us, every individual immigrant would be a millionaire. So can't people see that the people who are controlling are doing something different to what they're saying? It's like, you know, you're not doing what you're saying. You're saying something but doing something else. So they're controlling us with these religious states of mind. Meanwhile, they're experimenting. They're spending millions, all that millions that we thought that we could have all that we could have given to poor people. We could have developed Africa with it.
Even the other day, they sent some, I listened to, on the news, some rocket or some expensive things to Mars or whatever.
Yeah.
And they knew, right, before it even lifted off to space, that the project itself was going to be a failure.
It wasn't going to come back,
they spent millions sending it, and now they're going to have to recuperate or something like that. And I thought that was totally. But I mean, these are the things that we have to be aware of.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm trying to get people to be when the other caller's talking about brighter. These are the things that I'm talking about, brighter. Understanding where we are now because we cannot go back. They will replace. They're cloning. They will replace us with cloning techniques. Are you talking about the future? Are you talking about tomorrow, as in Monday? We're talking about knowing ourselves as a people and how we survive. They knew that they needed to survive, so they created 2 world wars, so that today their mothers and their great-great-grandchildren can live in the way that we would like to live. So we have to look forward for our grandchildren to say, well then, if I do this, maybe this will happen. If our people start doing this, maybe then we can come out of this psychological slave bondage that we're in.
That's it, definitely.
And learn to love each other, not love each other through God, but love each other directly. I can be in a room with Sister N or with Commissioner or anyone and have respect for them without them, you know, wanting me to speak in a particular manner or act in a particular manner, because they've loved me as like they know what humanity is, and because of my humanity they can love, not because of God they can love.
That's it, which is all very superficial and, you know, it's just, you know, they have to get rid of it and come out of that mindset. Anyway, I'll have to go now.
Thanks a lot, Thanks for your contribution.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye. Yeah, so I mean, like, that's all about, you know, that deepness there, because what do you want to say? Because for me, you know what I'm at, as when it regards to all of that thing, I'm the Dr. X. So I'm like that. Yeah, we take that. Hello, who's calling?
Greeting.
Yeah, greeting.
It's earlier from 10. I called earlier, but
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know you're talking about the Ugandan thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I have suspicions that it was a murder rather than a cult activation.
Okay. No, but they're investigating it as murder now anyway.
Yeah. The reason why I'm looking at this as being more murder than a cult is that, firstly, they're going to throw the Ten Commandments, which I think the Ten Commandments is something like that.
Yeah, resurrection of, something like that.
Part of the Ten Commandments require a person not to kill. So if they're contradicting themselves then already, the Ten Commandments about love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then the connection with the Roman Catholic Church, if I heard correctly, would tie all of this up nicely. Your point of view about religion, I understand it because it's a lot of black people think it that way. but I don't look at it like that myself. I think this is all orchestrated to move people away from cults and move them into the major religions like the Roman Catholic Church itself, who you already know has been orchestrating a lot of things throughout history. And also there's also, which is connected to all the churches that belong, like the Baptist missionary, they actually are the daughters of the Roman Catholic Church.
That's right.
Every argument you have against the church, I tend to agree with, but I'm not saying that I don't have a point of view of religion. I have a point of view of religion. There's been so much distortion in scripture as well as in the world.
Yeah.
I don't follow the white Jesus thing because I've done my research and I found out X amount of things.
Okay.
And I ain't going to be dismissive of the Father and the Son, because I know there is a true Father and the Son, and there's a true walk. And through this true walk, everyone can actually go through.
Yeah, but you see, when you say to know is to be clear and is to be evidential on, and then is to pass on, right? So therefore, to know is it's what you feel. I don't think it's what you know.
Because you're talking about feeling as it's coming through my own head. Research, when you read and you cross-reference and you do, you go through material.
That's fine.
Understand things.
But then, if you understand something fully, then you're able to then repeat it with that understanding, isn't it?
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that everybody can do that, repeat stuff. But what happens when you put the holes in stuff? Then people start to plug it with stuff that is not material to the development of the reasoning. Hello? Hello?
What reasoning?
Of that knowledge, because you say you know, and to know, then you have to start to debate, don't you? Then you start to pass on your knowledge, and within passing on your knowledge, then you conjure up debate on discourse, yes?
Right.
Now,
but then you've got to ask yourself, if you're going to be dismissive of the Bible, then you've got to be wholeheartedly fully just whack it on the head. No reference to it in any way in any other statement.
No, but you see, but I can't do that, because that wouldn't be fair on myself and my own knowledge, would it?
That means you're either saying that partially or some of the Bible is kosher.
No, what I'm saying is no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Bible is a book. And
I know what it is.
And I can tell you a lot of books that I've repeated over the air. So that because it's a book.
Is it relevant?
Of course it's relevant. To say thou should not kill, there's nothing wrong with that. To say that, to some of the proverbs.
You would say some of the principles in the scriptures we can go for.
In any religion, in Buddha, in Buddhist, in Muslim, in any of them, yeah. In Muslim you don't eat pork, I can go for that, because in the Bible it's also says that.
They took that from the Hebrews and the Jews.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but if I didn't say I didn't know that, I would still be dealing with the Quran and its Hebrew. So therefore, you get what I'm saying? Any book you can find something realistic to deal with, but whether or not you then take the book on as your lifestyle, that's an individual perception, which when we look up in the air, we all see the sun. When the rain falls, we all feel it. So it's not as truthful as that. So that means it's always going to be holy, which in terms of full of holes. It's never going to be like the sun, which is undeniable. It's not going to be like oxygen, which is undeniable. You get what I'm saying? It's always going to be, well, what does that mean? And how comes this happened? And why was that? It's always going to be those questions. If you decide to deny those questions and then concentrate your energy on just the belief in this,
that's not me.
That's fine.
I know people like that.
Yeah, well, these are the people I'm talking about.
I've heard the radio station, a lot of people just carrying on like, because we can't answer the question, so that means all of this are rubbish and blah blah. This, that's the same, because they can't answer the Adam and Eve situation or this. They think that the whole book is rubbish, or some of it. You can't answer this question. It says Cain and Abel, for instance, and they make an argument of that, and then he dismisses of the whole thing.
No, I don't. I think it's dismissive of what it's dismissive of is the whole. Yeah, it is dismissive of the whole thing as a whole.
You
as a whole, but not in its pieces.
Dismissive of the whole thing at the end of the day. All right, you can say thou shalt not kill, but you can accept that. But everything else, it doesn't come into the kosher.
No, what I'm saying is that as a whole thing you dismiss it, but as in pieces you can take things out of it. Because if you take you can take negative things out of it in pieces and good things out of it in pieces, yes? But you cannot, but the whole thing doesn't come to a level of belief, because you can take negative, it's not a whole good thing. There are negative things in there.
Have you read it from Genesis to Revelation?
Have I read it from them? Yeah, I've read it. I can't even say I've read it like that, because that would assume that I have a photographic memory. But since I've been growing up, I've had a lot of Bible study. You get what I'm saying? So I don't have a photographic memory, and I can't remember every part of the Bible. But I've read it everywhere.
But at the end of the day, I think take the Bible like it's sort of serious, because there's no other history book. Maybe you might go to the Babylonian cuneiforms and all that. But that could take history from beginning to
but
end.
if you know the history of the Bible, you know that it's been the Vulgate. You know that it's been
Yes, I know that the books I didn't take
right,
away.
right. So then you know that the Roman Catholic has got more than more of the original Bible than the Anglican, because
some of them are spiritually moved.
They took some books out. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them are spiritually inspired. Those are some of them might be classified as being.
Yeah, but only who told? The only way you know that they're spiritually inspired is because someone told you, not because you know that.
Yeah, that was in the first place. But then when you compare scriptures and what they're actually saying in the scriptures, they carry a different terminology altogether. They're trying to carry people into a different direction.
Right, no doubt, no doubt.
Like when I brought up the Ugandan thing, it's like it's trying to orchestrate people into thinking in a certain way. And then if you
the whole Bible is, any book is like that. I mean, you can.
No, the Ugandan thing. That's what I'm saying. The Ugandan thing in the world today is like it's orchestrating people into thinking in a certain way.
But Waco, what about Waco? They've been doing this for years.
Waco included. What
about that Stuart? That guy who used to touch hands on the television, and then Jimmy Swaggart and all that.
Yeah.
It's always been abused. It's any way that you're going to find good, you're going to find people.
Again, this is what I'm saying. If you have a clear understanding of what's going on in the scripture, then you can answer those questions will be clearly answered.
But where does the clarity come from? You know what I'm saying? That's my question.
I tell you what, I can actually, given the time, I can actually put you clear on that. But it can't be done right now.
Yeah, definitely not. But what I'm saying is that maybe you should phone the Ghettoology on a Saturday or something. But what I'm saying is that.
Well, that's if you now play a tape, brethren.
Oh yeah, because but what I'm saying that is, you see that show there, that was a Rago Chat show. That one is closing down, and the Ghettoology is opening up. That's why the tapes have been playing, to give me some time to do some other research.
And by the way, two things before I go.
Yeah.
Could you make another definition, another understanding of the word respect? Because I don't follow respect. I don't respect no man. I love people. I don't respect nobody. And could you also give a rundown on what the schedule for the shows are throughout the week, or whenever the shows are on, especially on the religious program and information program?
Okay. Why would you want to redefine the respect though?
Because you play the tape, and then it's like you're saying you're not supposed to use the word, and then you yourself is using the word today.
Which is what? Sorry. Which is what word?
Respect. You break it down to mean deference, and then you
no. Deference. No, what I said is that. Yeah. Okay, right. So what you're saying?
If you're gonna be telling a man not to use the word respect.
No, that's not what I said. Well, my slant was, a man was saying this is respect, and I was trying to show the people on that particular show that respect has got a dictionary definition, and part of the dictionary definition says deference, and deference means to show piety to somebody else's superiority. That's what it means. That's what respect is. That means if you're good at football and I'm good at basketball, I respect you for being good at basketball. I don't pretend that I'm as good as you when I can't even kick a ball. That's what deference is. I didn't say indifference. I said deference. So you must have misheard that. You must have misheard the direction. Yeah. Well, do that.
Alright, and also just to run through what the programs are.
Okay. Well, we're mostly on the weekends now, and the main we've got. Like on a Sunday from 11 till 2, we have this talk show, which is a people talk show, and on Saturday we have the Ghettoology, which is on 10 till 12 on a Saturday, and 10 till midnight, and then we have the info show at 10 till 1. We just get information, and sometimes between 1 and 3, sometimes we might have some stuff going on there, but not all the time. So at the moment, it's only those two, the Ghettoology and the people's talk show, that are the mainstays, as far as I'm aware. Wednesday we've got Imani from 8 till 9. She's do with health issues and many other different issues. Where else have we got? Driver, Monday 11 till 1. He does an information show as well. Who else is there? Those are the main ones anyway. Yeah. Great. So, but the only real one that my particular show, as you've heard, is a very it's very controversial in that respect. So that's the particular show I do. Whereas this one is not. This is more the people's talk show. So those issues that you might want to argue with me probably would suit better on that show there.
All right, then I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah, you do.
Great.
Yeah. Respect. Yeah.
Great.
Peace. Yeah,
Afternoon caller.
Hello.
Through to Genesis.
I can just about hear you. Let me just put my headphones on. 'Cause you know I'm listening to you through my headphones, yeah?
Okay, put them on quickly.
Pardon. Listen, I've got one headphone on it and I'm listening to you through the phone. So what's the topic about? What's your name, sister?
My name's Sister N.
Sister N.
What's yours, please?
I'm Ralph from Lewisham.
Ralph from Lewisham.
Yeah.
Hi, Ralph. What can we do for you?
What can you do for me?
What do you want to talk to London about?
Why? Everything, because, you know...
Everything?
All this, it's each subject is like...
Wow.
It involves everything, you might as well say, what's going on in our community. I want to talk about black issues, see?
You've got 5 minutes.
I've got 5 minutes. Okay. Basically, I've been listening to some of the callers. I've been listening for about an hour and a half. Listening to some of the ignorant callers calling it, especially that woman about we're in a better situation in the slavery than we was when we was in Africa. That's just needs to go and read her books and know what she's talking about. She's an ignorant fool. I'll tell her straight up. I'm tired of people like that.
Towards her now. That's what I said. Let's not get personal towards her, because we didn't agree with her, but we don't have to call her those kind of names.
Listen, you know what time we're living in?
She's opened out a debate for us. Surely that was her purpose.
That's no debate, man. I ain't got no time to talk about that. We've been talking about it for so long. Yeah, time talking done. It's action. Yeah, sister, it's not that so much I'm listening. I'm telling her straight up, see, because I'm a straight up kind of person. You get me?
Okay.
Yeah, you got to be like this today. See, right. I'm a soldier. I'm militant.
I'd rather hear what you've got to say, though. What do you want to tell us?
Well, basically what I want to say is that I'm tired of hearing on the news, you know, how this black man's been murdered and this and that, you know. Mm-hmm. Not only that, we're murdering one another through ignorance and all that kind of stuff and money, you know, but also racist people in the country, you know. Like you heard about 2 brothers that got lynched, literally, yeah? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, basically what I'm saying is that I'm tired of this crap, see? And I want blood. I want blood today, sister.
What does that mean?
Talking guns, brethren. I want to go out there, arms and just kill. I want blood. See?
You're making Dr. X stand up. So you're just making Dr. X stand up.
This is what Dr. X is dealing with, see? Because I'm tired of man talking. See?
So when you say you want blood...
There's too many cowardly niggas out there.
Okay, hold on, listen.
We must stand up like a mighty army and just deal with this situation.
Right.
I don't care if we're the minority in this country. We are the majority in the world. That's what you have to understand. See?
Okay, so how do you... Come on, define this then. Because you want blood, fine. How do you get it?
Yeah, we're living in the year, according to the Gregorian calendar, yeah. Let me educate some of these people out there. See, year 2000 we're in, yeah? According to the Gregorian calendar. That's not according to my calendar, see? Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. They go by their calendar from when they murdered one of our brothers, yeah? Just over 2,000 years ago, yeah? In Palestine. That's why they're going by their calendar. Okay? Now, according to their calendar, yeah, it is prophesied, according to the scriptures, that the Christ shall appear, yeah, at these times. Is that right or wrong, sister?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
No, that's not they're saying. The scripture said that.
Yeah, but I want to know what you're saying.
So when I say no, it's time, it's Armageddon time, see?
What is...
Straight as I told you already, I ain't got no time. You told me I've got 5 minutes, yeah?
The purpose of your time here is to educate people or to share with them information.
I'm trying to educate them in the way I'm telling them, in my educational way, yeah?
Yes,
let them listen, because I'm tired of this white-mindedness I hear on the radio, see? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we didn't grow ourselves up. Our people never grew us up, basically. We were growing up by foster fathers and mothers, you understand? Because we grew up under Eurocentric teaching.
Right,
yeah?
so you're a bit angry now about
No, listen.
And you're just expressing your anger.
No.
So you're just using this as an opportunity to let off, but you're not really trying to make sense to us.
I'm not expressing my anger. I'm just being straight up, as I told you. I'm just being blatant and forward. You get me?
Yeah,
militant style. Can be done with the puppet show.
Are you doing it with the purpose of letting off, or are you doing it with the purpose of educating us?
Both.
right, but if you're looking to educate us, then you need to calm down a bit and just like let us understand what you're really saying.
So you don't understand what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I tell you straight up.
Yeah, I know what you mean by Armageddon, but I don't know what everybody else does.
We are in a terrible condition in this world, see?
Yeah.
Right? We not say our motherland, yeah? There's problems out there, see? No matter watch the motherland, see? Watch where we live. Yes, charity begins at home, yeah? Before you go abroad, yeah?
Yeah, I think we've been saying that a lot.
So let's deal with our issues here, right? Because we're in a terrible condition here. We're all going out loving our enemies. We can't get nothing, so we have to latch on to the crackers, meaning white people, yeah? Because most of these black people where you see that have a bit of something, you know, flash house, commerce car, they've got a cracker on their side, yeah? I'm blatant, you understand what I'm dealing with?
Okay, so what do you suggest we actually do? Yeah,
wait, I'm tired of this crap, see?
What can we
I'm tired of these little soft niggas, male and female, yeah, that want to intermix up and marry up.
So
with
what do you suggest that we can do?
Thinking that that's going to solve our problem. What we should do is organise ourselves. You understand?
How?
You mean how?
I want to leave here and think about what you've said.
How we should organise ourselves. There are many black organisations out there financed by ourselves, not financed by the cracker. See? Okay, we struggle and finance ourselves. What we must do is come together, go there and find out what's going on and get involved.
But is it necessary to join? Because I'm not part of any organisation.
Well, you should be, because you can't just be an organ on your own. Every organ in your body, sister, plays a role, yeah? To keep you awake and keep you alive, yeah?
Yeah, but what I was going to say is that you can still tap into what different organisations are doing and support them without necessarily joining one.
Yes, I understand what you're saying with the black children. But what we need to do today is join one. You can see what I'm saying. We need to form a solid wall.
Yeah, but think what are these organisations? What have they done over the years? There's been organisations since the 60s and before that, and things are still pretty much the same.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same, but there's been changes.
That these organisations will do that you can't do for yourself.
Sister, I can explain to you about a certain organisation or organisations. But I wouldn't, time is limited. Yeah, people are doing things like that, and organisations are growing and armies are growing, see, which is necessary. Because you can't do business without an army, yeah, backing you up.
You can?
No, you can't. You can't do proper business without no army to defend you. When you have to go about your mission to do what you got to do. See, do your homework and then you find it out.
Well, I run a business.
What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm tired of this crap.
So
yeah. I want blood today, see, because I just want a cracker to come and attack me. All you crackers that are listening, come and attack me.
Listen.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that it's cool what you're saying, yeah. It's nice
cool.
to hear you let off and all that, yeah. But at the end of the day, when all that anger's gone down, yeah, you're left with something, and that's what we got to do. What you left with,
at least I got my own mind, Bedri.
Yeah, but
my own mind.
No, you've got a mind. You've got a mind, and it belongs to you. Yeah.
A lot of us walking out there, we don't even have our own fucking minds. Excuse my language.
Yeah, please. Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
I'm tired of the ignorance. I'm tired of the cowardness. See? I want war now.
But
I just want to go out there and chop off heads.
Yeah, but what's your name? Sorry, what's your name?
Ralph.
Ralph, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a suicide mission, really.
No, it's not no suicide mission,
Listen. Now. All right, then let me have a say then, yeah. This is why I'm giving you my reason why I'm saying it's a suicide mission. As I spoke earlier on, yeah. There's too many of them, and they're too well armed, and they're too well far forward for you to go on war with them, yeah. You might kill one of them or chop off one head, and then you're going to jail or you're going to die. So that's a pointless exercise. What we need to do is develop, like you said, organize, like come together and try and find out ways of channeling that. You see that energy that you have there, of controlling it, because raw emotion by itself is like throwing a bomb in the middle of a school. But it has to be focused at a particular target so that it can reap maximum havoc or maximum results. But what you're doing with what you're saying is that it's just like very destructive and one away. What are you doing? What are you doing then? What are you doing?
You didn't hear what I said, Reggie, a little while ago. I said this ain't no time of peace. This is wartime, see?
Yeah, I understand that, but even war has to be organised. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah, we're getting organised. We're getting organised, and we're growing, mate.
What are you?
In the meantime, things can be done. See?
What are you doing? What
am I doing?
Yeah.
Basically, I'm educating myself. See?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to deal with certain issues, daily issues, what we all deal with our people.
Yeah. See, so I'm saying, so therefore...
Sometimes I'm even have conflict with my own people, because you know why? Because of their desire to want to be with the crackers.
Yeah, I know, we all have that.
We're so sick.
Yeah, I know.
We're so sick.
I know.
Mental sickness, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, brethren.
Yeah.
And it's not only the mental sickness, it's fear. It's fear of the cracker. Because they don't understand themselves or the cracker. Once they get this knowledge of self and others, you'll be like a roaring lion of Judah, you understand?
Yeah. But what I'm saying...
With intellect as well, and with intelligence and all that, yeah?
Yeah, okay then.
That will come with it.
Okay.
But right now, but it's like a little puppy dog. See? Bowing down to the cracker.
Okay, that's true. I think that we do that, but what I'm saying is, what you're saying is good. I know what you're saying. It has a lot of positive stuff in there, even though it is anger at the same time. But what I'm saying to you,
I've got a right to be angry. Sorry, man. I've got a right to be angry.
No doubt.
I'm tired of this shit what I see going on every day.
No doubt. But like I'm saying, no doubt.
Dr. X, sorry. God is angry. The Supreme One is angry himself. Huh? He's the biggest killer on the planet Earth. Am I right or wrong?
Is he big? Sorry?
I said God, the Supreme Being, yeah?
Yeah.
He is the biggest murderer and killer on the earth. Do you agree with me? Huh? Listen.
Yeah.
Study the Quran and Bible. Look how much people he's killed.
In the name of him, there's been the mostest murders. Yeah, no doubt.
Him are gonna kill him.
Why is it him? I don't understand. When men kill one man, it's a man doing it to another man. It's nothing to do with him, man.
God is a loving, merciful God. He's all that. But at the same time, he's a militant warrior.
Ralph, that's a whole nother. You're going into a whole nother level. That this is not programmed for that.
Yeah.
What we're saying is this: that it's men. We've only got 20 minutes left. Men kill men. God doesn't kill men. You know what I'm saying? As far as this ideal of God.
Bridget, in
the name of God, people are killing people. That's what I'm
saying. Not only in the name of God. I told you. You know what I said? I repeat what I said.
Yeah.
Read in the Bible and the Quran where God killed people.
But what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is that people, the belief pattern that people have, is not God that killed them. They're saying it's God that killed them. I don't even know what they're talking about when they say God. All I know is that people kill people and they use the name. So if the Bible says God did this, it weren't God doing nothing. It was people doing it. This is you see, now that's why I don't want to go there, because I'll go there. You get what I'm saying? That's me. You get what I'm saying? I feel that I'm like yourself. Yeah, I'm angry with certain things and blah blah blah. But even Sister N has tried to calm me down certain times as well. So I feel your pain, rude boy. I know what you're going through.
I'm fuming.
I know what you're saying. But we have to. It's like Sister N said. It's about the direction of the energy. You get what I'm saying? We have to try to redirect the energy so that it's not so raw and it's defined, so that we can like how they've got these new planes that can home in on a target. Instead of, we need to home in more on the target rather than just kick it out. But I understand your pain, and Ralph, now trust me, I feel it too. So but I'm gonna have to leave you there, yeah?
Alright then, Dr. X.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Respect though, yeah?
Alright then.
Alright, peace. Hold it up then.
Keep up the show, mate.
Yeah.
So everybody can hear what I'm going.
Yeah,
all the cowards out there. All the cowards lying down and buckling down, you little... Anyway, I don't even want to start dissing over it. I don't even want to be on your level, Dr. X, because I'll hear you on Saturday night. See?
Alright, lad.
Take it easy,
and you too, yeah? Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes, you get what I'm saying? Because I know there's a lot of men, and in one sense people they're probably going, why don't he send him? No, because he has a right to be angry. You get what I'm saying? We just have to focus more, but he has a right to say what he says. This is black media, this ain't television. Hello?
Hello?
Genesis, yeah.
My name's Sharon.
Sharon, hi.
Yeah, hi. I'll just take in a bit of the show, not too much of it.
Okay.
But I'm interested in how you feel about school for our black boys.
School for black boys?
Yeah. Like the seats, got their school for our black boys.
Okay, yeah, but
Yeah, I
think it's another move in the right direction.
I don't see there's anything problem with them. What the problem is with this multifaceted. Oh, let's take on the homosexuals. Let's take on this. Let's take on that. That's what there is a problem, because we are feeding off the bottom of somebody else's culture and lifestyle. Yeah, and unless we get money, they won't give us. When we're going to open this black school, who do we go to open it?
Well, our celebrities.
We do it. No, but I'm saying this is what I've experienced. We go back to them. We want a grant from them. We want permission from them. We want this from them. But Sister Ed's going to come in a minute and tell you how she developed something for herself. But I'm just going to say my bit. Yeah.
You're still irate from the last caller.
Yeah. Let me pass you on to Sister Ed, because she's much more like you got to say. Yeah, come.
He's okay, really.
I know.
Just gets all excited, that's all.
I know.
Hi, sis.
Hello.
You were talking about a school for black boys?
Yeah, there was a program a couple of Sundays ago on Heart of the Matter with, is it Robert Beckford? He's some university person that studies black history. And the debate was about a school for black boys.
Okay.
I know the Sikhs have got one and the Jewish people have got one.
Yeah.
And they were debating to say that it wouldn't be fair because they don't want to segregate us.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's always that argument, isn't there?
But I feel, that's another move in the right direction. I mean,
the only thing
like a Morehouse that they've got in America.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in how's one going about sort of like starting a campaign or something.
Well, no, I don't know, because I'm somebody that when I want to do something, I just get up and do it. And right now, since September, I've been running this school in Gants Hill, which is for it's open. It's for black children, really, you know. And I just got up and just did it. Okay,
but I was saying that
I was already running. Sorry,
failing our black boys.
Sorry,
the schools are failing our black boys.
That's right, and that is why. What inspired me to do it, because I was already at the centre that I run. I was already doing Saturday schools and evening classes, and got quite good results through doing that, just by seeing a child, say, once a week. Yeah. So my urge, and every now and again, you get parents come in and they're frustrated because of what their children have been through or gone through, and then you feel frustrated yourself as somebody who provides education, because you think, well, surely there's something that can be done. So the idea of a school was in my mind, but at the time, because I've got a secondary school experience, I kept thinking big school, big building, lots of teachers, lots of equipment. I can't do it, until I suddenly thought, no, I'll start small. Right, so come September last year, just opened out a school. It started off with 4 children. Now there's 6 children. It's due to grow and probably double in size by September. Then when we get a new intake, you just start. To me, you got a desire. Don't think about when are we going to do it, how are we going to do it. Just do it.
Right.
You start small, because once you start small, things grow. Absolutely. Once you plant the seed, the oak tree doesn't start out as an oak tree. The lights on, lights come. Yeah. The lights coming. Right, the oak tree starts out as a seed, one little tiny seed, and then it grows into a big oak tree. Yeah, if you want an oak tree, you can't say, well, I can't do it because it's too big. Yeah. Do you understand?
But my thing on it is that how do people feel about it, really? I mean, it's just saying, do they think it's a positive move? Yeah, because I didn't, after I heard the debate on TV and I've not heard anything since.
Right, okay.
So I'm just trying to find out how do people really feel about it, if there is a great need, because I know there's a need. But, the young boys that are coming up who seem to be lost or...
Okay, well, in the last 10 minutes, we can actually put that question out to the rest of London, but for my opinion on that, is that, to me, you have whatever you want. If you think it's going to be of some benefit to have, a school for black children, then I'd say, well, boys. My opinion about, I'm not really into, I like unity, I think black men and black women,
Morehouse in America is just
they're
boys.
Focusing on boys.
Yeah, it's just boys. I mean, once they come together and they can see that there's lots of diverse, lots of role models, lots of inspiration, that's why I'm saying more for boys. I mean, the girls will be okay. I mean, obviously they will see that there are stronger men out there at the end of the day. Yeah. But I just feel that, it's a good start, or that's what they need.
Well, without me, I'm going to put that out to London then, because I didn't see that, so I don't know what the reasoning behind having a school for just boys is.
Black boys.
Black boys. I don't know what the reason for having just the boys. I can see the reason, what perhaps the reason for having a black school is, but why it should be for just boys.
Well, a lot of boys are growing up with their mums. I'm just thinking, on another concept where they just grow up and they be with their peers, maybe stay in school, maybe boarding school, I don't know. It's just a program that I saw, and I thought, yeah, that's interesting.
So what on the program? What were the arguments on the program that you remember?
Well, they were talking about the same thing. So segregation. They don't want, I mean, once again, maybe like the caller was saying before, it's a fear. It's a fear that they will go off and they will be successful. They will achieve a lot more. They can come together. They can learn a lot more. They can all bring their different experiences. But the debate was there was quite a few people on the board. But it was basically.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. I remember it now. It was quite late, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
And just because the other day I saw something about the Sikh schools. They've got their status or whatever else. I'm just thinking they're all right. They're doing all right. And as I said, for us, like the caller before was saying, we get brainwashed and all these kind of things. Sorry?
So I remember the debates. I think I wasn't sitting down to watch it, but I was in and out of the room. And I remember there were some people that were all for it and other people were against it. And I think anytime you get an issue like that, especially when it's our own issues, you'll always get those that are all for it, and then you'll get those who think no, we shouldn't, because you always get those that will want to water down the issues, So or afraid to really go straight in with the issues. So I think even if you put the call out, there's not much time left, but even if you put the call out to London, you'll probably get the same thing
again next week or when you're on again. I mean, it was really interesting. I only just caught the last caller and just managed to get the number, so that's why I thought I'd ring in.
Okay. Well, thanks for that contribution.
Okay. Bye.
The number is, there's 10 more minutes left, 07940186067, and you're tuned to Genesis on 91.6 FM.
Yeah, as the other caller was talking about Morehouse and stuff like that. I'm all for the idea of having schools, but without the ideology that supports a black mechanism, Morehouse is just like a black-white college. You get what I'm saying? Because none of those people that have come out of there have done anything to change black situations. Einstein, Freud. I mean, what was the black version of him? Why haven't they changed our stuff? Hello, caller.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Johnny from Camberwell.
And Johnny, yeah. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Now, what we need is discipline.
Discipline?
Yes. It's because you have to discipline the mind. Now, yesterday I was on a service bus coming from New Cross.
Okay.
Two little black boy about 12 and about 10 upstairs. While them showing no respect to me as a black man.
Okay.
If I see a white man go kick me in the mouth, I can't defend him. When I come to this country from Jamaica 1966, I respect the black people. This is the problem. If you don't respect your enemy, you cannot defeat him.
Yeah, that's right. I believe that too.
You cannot defeat him. And even if you have a black school, if there's no respect, you can't come out there with anything.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our kids go to university, and because they have a disciplined mind, you can't take the subject.
But even with discipline, like this, what I'm saying, discipline is just because you can be a discipline in the army, and Johnny, you can be a discipline in Muslim religion or any religion. What I am saying is that when you lose the agenda of the like for instance, if Morehouse has pushed out so many lawyers, right? Not one of them has looked at the issue of white people stealing black music. Not one of them. All they do is admit. It's no good making a black school that only services the white industry or the white administration better than the last set. This is the point I was trying to make. I was trying to say earlier on. The reason why I agree with that, but the reason why I'm saying about people don't have respect is because they're not taught to respect the black issues. That's a burning issue. We've been robbed of billions of pounds simply because we've allowed a race of people to impress itself upon our race and steal everything from us. You get what I'm saying, Johnny?
Yes, what you say is correct. You see, but the thing about it is financial independence. It's all about financial independence. Because right now in the United States,
and Sister Ed was saying that's why we need to be a bit businesses, build our businesses.
Anytime we in this country can, for instance, create jobs, say at least 8% of black people, then we're going somewhere.
Okay.
So you can demand certain things. Because as you said, you can't demand separate education until go up to the education department for grants.
That's what I'm saying.
You look foolish.
Yeah, that sounds silly, doesn't it? Really, when you say it out, what you just said just made me laugh because it sounded silly. What you just said, and it is, and that's what people do. It does sound silly. What? Yeah. You want to be separate, but at the same time you want them to start it for you.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm saying.
I was in Brixton yesterday, and a group of youth, I saw them stand up with some people. I said, what are you doing, brethren? He said, this is a poetry meeting. I said, where are you going to have the poetry meeting? This place about it closed. I said, who's a place to count? I said, see? As long as you depend on the council, my friend, as a black man, you're then marginalized.
Of course.
You're not getting nowhere.
Of course. Because
these are youth, between, say, 20 to 28. Very intelligent, talking about poetry. But then been blighted because they kind of see where, if we in this country, they have, for instance, our center then, which contribute by black people. They would not stand up out there.
Right, which is what you're back to this respect thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't feel there's a need. And the mothers, remember, the mothers, the single mothers and the mothers of are not able to control their children. What they've done is they've misunderstood their colonialization of the mind. Right, and they misunderstand the programming of their mind. That the television has taken away your children, cable and video games have taken away your children. So these youths that you saw on the bus are products of this colonialization. Because I'm sure the mother wouldn't say that she or the father wouldn't be saying, oh, they've done a bad job. So somewhere along the line, we're misinterpreting the information that we're getting and thinking that we're doing quite well. Hello?
Yes. You mean they're thinking more of assimilation?
Sorry?
You mean they're thinking more of assimilating?
Yeah, but they don't know. They're not thinking assimilated. They're being programmed to assimilate without them even not being aware of it.
That's right. Because you see, it seems as if what's going on right now, the television trying to reshape black people's mind,
Definitely.
To think certain ways.
Definitely.
So you see, when you're talking about separate school now, then they must know, as a homosexual, I don't want a separate school too.
That's right.
Because we are a minority within a minority.
That's right. That's right. They're on their way to develop that. Trust me. They're on their way to develop their own channels, cables, homosexual station. They're on their way to develop their own homosexual advice line, everything. Meanwhile, we're still waiting in line.
So therefore, we have to be careful. We're setting only a trap for ourselves.
Of course, but we don't have us. Like I said before, every time we get power, whether it's comedy, whether it's acting, whether it's debate, the guys them are willing to act and assimilate. So therefore, it's not that we, as somebody was saying before, we're a powerless people. It's that when we've got power, we do less.
True.
You got what I'm saying? We don't, because we don't have a risk. We don't have a, we don't have a 10 Commandments. But if we do have a 10 Commandments, I'm a 10 Commandment Anglican, and she's a 10 Commandment Church of God of the 7-day Latter-day Saints. You get what I'm saying? And that separates us. You know what I'm saying?
You could say, for instance, then, because of lack of infrastructure, then.
Yeah.
This is what going on.
Yeah, definitely.
As an example, what's going on? Look on Zimbabwe. Because me is a man who support Mugabe country in the rough struggle. And my heart bleeds now. The man become an autocrat.
You get what I'm saying?
The man make the European run rings around him now.
Every African has done the same. Yeah. I don't see the difference, Johnny. I don't see there's a difference, because the same thing in Ghana, the same thing in Nigeria. It's the same all the time. Who tell me somebody who hasn't done it? They might want, 1 minute they're praising them, whether it's Nkrumah or Nyerere, whatever, and next minute it's like, God, these men, they're taking the piss. Look how much million the other man took out the country. You know what I'm saying? If you look in the magazine, the rich list in the journal, right? They've got things. I've read it over the air one day. 627 million. This one's got 1,500 million, and they're all dictators. They're all operators of state, and the people them are starving. You don't see what's happening with the oil in Shell. The people them have to break down the pipes in order to steal the oil to make money. You're meaning to say that the government couldn't organize it in a way that if the people are going to take money out of their land, they're going to have to pay the people them. So the people them got their own schools, develop themselves. Shell is making a killing.
You see,
we have no roots. Go back to Africa. I ain't going back to Africa for no one's business, for no reason, unless I'm going back from a point of view where I understand what I'm dealing with, and it's to a modern place. I ain't going back to no bush and no road.
You see, what we need to do is to consolidate our game and move on. You don't, especially right now in this country. The future is bright only if you're thinking.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You're a black man not thinking, you have no future.
Only if you what, sorry?
If you're not thinking.
Yeah.
You have
you're not
future.
thinking, yeah.
But if you're not thinking, there's no future for you. The only future is the prison and the mental institution.
That's right. What is that? What is that all about? You know what I'm saying? The same thing we've been going around, the same thing they've been doing it for years, they're still doing. Yeah.
So look here, I'm going to give somebody a go.
Nice one, yeah? Respect for that contribution.
Yeah.
See, so the cycle of events, they just keep going around. It's cyclic, isn't it? Same cycle of events, over and over, round and round. You get what I'm saying? Jail and mental institutions. That's what they want for our young men, and from our young women, they want to steal them and they want to marry them off. They want to marry them off to. We're going to take this last call because we're going to finish now and let.
Hello?
Afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah.
What's your name,
I just want to make a few comments on the things I've been listening for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And it's a good show, it's interesting. And I just want to support the brother that phoned, I think his name was Ralph.
Okay, the angry one.
Some of the points he made, I just, generally, I support what he said. I think he's talking the truth. And more than just what he said, I support the spirit in which he said it. And that we can't look at, we're at war with the Europeans. And that's as simple as that, physical, mental, spiritual. We can't count out the physical war because if the Vietnamese did that against America thinking they were outnumbered and Americans were so sophisticated, they would have never gained that portion of their liberation, you know what I'm saying? And they were the underdog, so they represented. So we got to bear that in mind. And also, even if we want to avoid that aspect, it's going to come and look for us, just like the male bombing in Brixton and the black athletes in the mixed relationship. Because that's going to come and deal with us. So might just bear it in mind and deal with it truly, and not have this Martin Luther King attitude of saying peace, not rubbish.
I mean, peace is an important thing, but I don't think peace should be.
I mean, peace against people like but peace against people who's waging war against you, not peace.
I understand what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. I think peace is an important thing for us to have within ourselves, but I don't think it should be an excuse not to take any positive action to make the changes that are necessary to move our lives forward.
Absolutely, we have to make the changes.
Yeah, but also the most powerful thing that we can do is like the internal changes within ourselves, because we can say we've got to fight physically, but if in ourselves we're feeling weak, we're not going to have the energy to fight or the motivation to do that physical fighting.
No, we're actually fighting now because we show good physical power. I mean, if you go to the hospitals around like Dulwich and the most black areas, you usually see like a few black people in there laid up, shooting, stabbing, cutting. We do a lot of that to each other, so I think the energy is there. I don't think we're that depleted. It's just that it's misdirected. And we've told ourselves that we can't.
Well, that's what I mean about the internal strength. That's what I mean about the internal strength, because if you've got a lot of energy and it's misdirected because inside you're not feeling strong enough to even sort of know where to direct your energy to make changes and stuff. Listen, if you've got the power of the mind and the power of the spirit, human spirit is the most powerful. And as black people, right, ours is very powerful, right? So when we get that straight, there's nothing that you can't achieve, right? There's nothing that we can't achieve. You can make quite a number of changes just by strengthening your internal self.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, for example, you might be developing that and you could be, we are often attacked when we're just going about our business. So I'm saying we can't avoid it. We would like the nicety to sit down and meditate and, do transcendental communication or whatever. Those things are cool. I'm just saying that it's holistic. We can't, separate everything. It's African way, truly. Whether it's 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years in the future, it's holistic. It's always holistic.
Well, it is. And it is about that. It is about that. But then most things have a starting point. And if you don't deal with the fundamental aspects of ourselves, then anything else you try and do is just going to be fall short of that.
Can I just cut you there? Because I want to just mention another issue quickly because I know time's running, yeah?
Yeah, because
it was about that sister that phoned earlier on and she spoke about slavery being a good thing for us. I disagree with her, but I don't mean to speak like you said on a personal level and be diversity to her, but I think she did have a point when she said you have to go back to Africa, not physically, but if you look back to what took place, because it's like if you're dealing with a patient, you yourself, you might do a bit of counseling or whatever, the first thing that you'll do to the person is say, tell me about your background, where did you come from? If you're dealing with a European doctor, they'd say, let me look at your medical history. If you're dealing with an African doctor, they'd say, tell me the last thing that you ate. So history is always qualified to reward research that we can find out.
I agree with you there, but I don't think that's what she was saying, really. She was just
that's what I got from it, so it could be down to interpretation, but if she wasn't saying that, well, that's what I'm saying anyway, regardless of what she was saying, that's what I'm saying. That you have to go back to West Africa, where most of us come from in the Western world, look at the history at the point of time, and say, yeah, we did used to sell ourselves to different tribes.
Well, that's actually what happened.
We did used to sell ourselves to different tribes. However, when the European or modern Neanderthal, whatever you want to describe him, when he came to the West Africa and bought us and took us away, maybe when we were selling each other, we didn't realize what slave-making process was going to go on
and that same process was going to come back and bite the backside of some of us that are still in the west coast of Africa, you understand?
Yeah, well, as I've said to people before, and I'm sure I've mentioned it on Genesis before, you know, certain people have certain kind of characters. The Europeans have a certain kind of character. They don't have a lot of their own, so their character is to take of others, or use others, or work on the backs of others. Like, that is their character. To me, I don't really want to blame them for that. That's just how they are, you know. But it's a bit like I was saying, there's certain kind of animals like the vultures. They eat off of dead things, or things that are half dead.
Right.
They're not like a lion who'll go and chase a live, hot-blooded animal and chase it down. They wait for the things that are half dead, and then they eat it. And the Europeans are a little bit kind of like that, you know. And so therefore, what I always pose to black people is, you know, how comes we allow ourselves to become so weak within ourselves that we were similar to dead carcass for vultures to come and eat up? You understand?
So,
That's a serious question we need to ask ourselves.
Sister, but you know the point that you actually originally raised when it was to do with our mental disposition. Now I'm saying that you really would have to go back and look at the slave making process. It's not blaming it on slavery, like, oh, it's just the white man's fault because we got to change it. But I'm saying you'd have to review, because that was like a horrific 400 years. So if you're going to find out why often people can't communicate in relationships, why maybe brothers don't stick around sometimes, why sisters don't, respect the black man's manhood, it's because of the slave making process.
Yeah, but okay, it's because of the slave making process. What is that? Because who makes the slave making process?
You take their language away, and you take away their concept of the creator, you take away their philosophy, and you give them a philosophy, a religion, a language.
To me, people,
then obviously you're gonna create some kind of creature, isn't it?
Fine, but who gave them the power to do that?
Cut a woman's belly open and stamp on her fetus in front of other pregnant women to pass the fear on.
I think black people, I think we give them too much power.
Other women, is it? So that will cause down the line, that will cause a mental disposition
that is
in the
fine,
people.
But I still think we give them too much power, because we keep saying it as if they did it to us and it happened to us, and what about our responsibility for it?
No, I'm saying that if you don't look at what took place, see what I'm saying that you look at what took place regardless of who did it, but you know what the phenomenon that took place is, and then you can address that situation. It doesn't matter if it was a Chinese person that did it to us, it doesn't matter if we did it to ourselves, it doesn't matter if it was the Eskimos. The issue is what took place.
Okay,
so it's subsequent that it was a white person that did it to us to make us responsible for changing it.
Right, so what you're saying is that come what may, it happened, whether it is we allowed it or whether they did it, it happened. But you're saying because it happened, we now have the results of it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because it happened, we have to deal with it. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that because it happened, we have to deal with it, and we can't say we're going to just blame ourselves because we can't change our situation, and we're not looking at what people are doing to us and have done to us, or we can't just blame people and not look at what we got to do. We say look at everything, bring everything to the table, discuss it, analyse it, evaluate it, and then we can move forward.
But I think that's what the debate has been about all afternoon. I think everybody would agree with you. I would, and Dr. X is nodding. Yeah, that is really what we've been talking about. It is about looking at where we've come from, what's happened, why it's happened, learning from it, and looking at our present situation.
Okay, now I must have misheard you, because when I heard you saying that I'm not going back to Africa and stuff like that, and talking about Africa and grass skirts and that,
no, that was me. I said I ain't going back to no bush. That's what I said.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't mean
Africa isn't just bush.
Yeah, and what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that these are some of the ideologies that have been fed to me, that as if to say by going backwards and somehow I'm going forwards. And I'm saying that people don't go forwards by going back unless unless they've developed some new form of space travel or something. But as far as I'm concerned, Africa is a lot of things have happened. If we live through the period like people are living now, right, in this time, we are going through a psychological slavery that in 100 years time people will be looking back and said, this is how white people was using, maybe there's stuff I know about I can't go into right now, MK Ultra or mind control or hypnosis or drugs or even just subversive acts like opening the immigrants' doors, so that the people that was already here and was moving forward all of a sudden had this divulge of immigrants of a lesser mentality, which has created a more backward slide in terms of England. Is
that like just talking about the word modern? Are we just playing with the word? Is it the semantics? Like if we say new and forward and modern, that it just sounds better? Because at the end of the day, today
built on yesterday, and that's the same for any culture, any people.
Sorry, say that again. So that is
so unique on the planet Earth that we're unlike anybody else.
No, what I'm saying is that
we're the people of the people from say in Europe. They look to their history, they look to their culture. The people in the Orient, the Chinese, the Asians, the Indians, whoever, they look to their past.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Ain't going back to not India.
Yeah, exactly.
They respect their culture, man.
Exactly.
They respect where they're coming from.
Exactly. That's what I'm dealing with. You get what I'm saying? You do that. Well, what I'm saying when I say new is because there is when I say new is that because there's nothing new on the planet in one set if you lose that philosophy. But when I say new is that we've got this old past stuff that's happened, yeah. And this old past stuff is like we're holding on to beliefs in God, and God is this and this and that. This is I'm only talking from Dr. X's point of view anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
That we need to like look into, examine what, and we need to have a philosophy. So like our philosophy now would be as developmental is like prove what you're saying. Prove that God is this, that, and the other, and this, that, that. So if I say
the same thing with the modern talk, prove that you got a subconscious, because I mean I've never seen one.
Sorry, say that again?
It's a philosophical debate, isn't it?
Yeah, what's what I'm saying?
It depends when you say proof. Is it a scientific proof, a mathematical proof?
This is what I'm saying. First you have to
or a
spiritual proof, whatever. What I'm saying is that you need to have a boundary. If you're going to create a law, yeah, you can't say did he rape her? What type of rape are you talking about? You describe what rape. So you have a debate from a base of law, from a base of rules. So if I say
it's a legal definition, then, isn't it?
Sorry?
Then that would be a legal definition.
No, it would be a physical definition based upon two people agreeing upon what they can come together on. So if we decide to say that let's read the Bible without interpreting it and read it word for word, then and you don't decide to do it, we can't agree on anything. So when you go,
can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. Sorry, can you repeat that?
If I've got a particular book, yeah, or a particular language. If the word soft means for me down deep, and for you it means soft and nice, then we're not agreeing on a particular descriptive word, right?
True.
So therefore what I am saying is that in order to understand or to move forward, we need to make the rules say, right then, soft means very soft. It doesn't mean deep and down under. You know what I'm saying? So that you and I can communicate. Whether or not this person across the road still thinks it's soft, that's their business. So what I am saying is that in order to move forward, we need to start to give boundaries to the meanings of what we're trying to do. Can you prove that physically? No. Well, okay then, because that's what I need or because that's what we need, that doesn't hold no sway. Can you prove it spiritually? No. Well, only personally. Well, that means that it's only for you alone, isn't it?
But isn't that like the subconscious argument though? I mean,
yeah, it is.
Taking that from Freud
but there's a collective.
I mean, like, even some of the mentality that we're talking as black people, right? Not for this stuff about materialism and lack of spirituality or it has to be proven in the physical world. Isn't that like from them 17th century European? Descartes and Kant and all these people.
No, but
it's not even like our thing. When we're evaluating what we're going for, can't we go based on the basis of our own philosophy?
No, listen,
no. Not borrowing little pieces from like Europeans and just restructuring it with language by saying.
Listen.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me, and we put a little something else on it to slice it, but it's still the same European philosophy.
No, yeah, but listen what I'm saying to you. Even if it's Europeans doesn't hold no sway. Can you prove it spiritually? No. Well, only personally. Well, that means that it's only for you alone, isn't
it? But isn't that like the subconscious argument, though? I mean,
yeah,
we're just taking that from Freud
but there's a collective.
I mean, like, even some of the mentality that we're talking as black people, right? Not for this stuff about materialism and lack of spirituality or it has to be proven in the physical world. Isn't that like from them 17th century European? Descartes and Kant and all these people.
No, but
it's not even like our thing. When we're evaluating what we're going for, can't we go based on the basis of our own philosophy?
No, listen,
not borrowing little pieces from like Europeans and just restructuring it with language by saying.
Listen.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get me, we put a little something else on it to slice it, but it's still the same European philosophy.
No, yeah, but listen what I'm saying to you. Even if it's Europeans
it's anti-religion now only because Europeans is finished using religion to dominate the masses.
Yeah, but
people of colour, that's the only reason why it's anti-religion on TV and in the media now, and we're just going along with that.
No, I don't.
We don't know that religion got us to the point where we was before we got destroyed.
I don't think so. This is what I'm saying, yeah? All I am saying is that
people got through slavery because they believed in the creator. You think they'd be here if they were thinking about the subconscious?
This is what I'm saying.
So it was real for them, and our backside is here today because they believed in it.
No, I don't know about that.
That kept their human spirit alive, don't it?
I don't know about that. We can surmise that.
You don't know about it, but I'm saying I know about it.
But I'm
the proof of it.
But I'm here as well, so what? I don't count.
No, don't say you say you don't know about it. I'm saying I know.
So
I know because I'm here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that's what you believe. There's a difference between knowledge and belief.
No, I said I know it, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you wasn't there, so you can't prove that. All you're doing is something. You're going off of your belief and you're making it your knowledge. I don't understand that.
No, it's called cause and effect.
Okay, let's stop this right here.
We live in the world of cause and effect.
This is what I'm talking about, agreeing on particular issues, yeah? If you wasn't there, then to me, let's say we had a meeting, yeah? Or whatever. On the meeting, we're going to structurize how we're going to go forward, yeah? In my meeting, you'd be saying it's personal. In your meeting, you'd be saying, well, it's personal and you know, it's how you think and it's semantics or whatever. In my meeting, I'm saying that if you wasn't there, you can only believe. You don't know. You get what I'm saying? Because of many things that we thought that was true. Like, okay, for instance, the assassination of Kennedy. Many people was fooled into believing it was one man was killing him. So they would have gone to they've died thinking that Kennedy was killed by one man. Today, with modern technology and everything, we realize that he was killed by more than one man. So there's a lot of things.
It's true, because it's like, for example, when you spoke about Morehouse, and it's interesting because you said, like, none of the black people that come out of there don't do nothing for the black, you know.
Right, it's never changed anything for black people.
And I'm thinking it was interesting because I'm thinking that unless you knew the history of all the students that left there and you have a very good study of the of American politics, African American politics, so to speak, you wouldn't be able to really make that statement with knowledge. It would be more of a belief.
Right. So what I'm saying, but you can.
So you don't really know about what some students have done and what some haven't done.
No, but that's like every single person. What I'm saying is that what would have helped the movement of black people? That's what I'm saying. Tell me what they've done. They haven't changed anything that would help our movement as a race. They might have changed this in their state. They might have changed that.
Well, we can say we don't know what they've done, innit?
So this is what I'm saying.
We're not aware of what they've done, but we can't downgrade all the students as left. We don't know about their contribution.
It's not about downgrading. It's about saying that we are all a part of the slave evolution. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So therefore, we were talking that particular subject matter, and with the boundaries, you can't keep opening the boundaries to everything. The boundaries were about what it would do to help us as a race. It wasn't about what they did to help themselves in their particular state or what they did for their brethren or what, you know what I'm saying? You can't keep opening the boundaries. You have to have rules about what you're discussing about. Otherwise, you can talk about one subject forever. If you don't have no rules, well, it could be spiritual. Well, it could have been this. It can always change according to the person you're speaking to. But if you give it rules, then it shows you where you don't go outside of it.
Well, it depends on the issue you're talking about, really.
Sorry?
It depends about the issue that you're talking about, for example.
Yeah, of course it does. But then you must still have rules, even because it would depend upon the issue you're talking about. So what I am saying within this issue, the rules, we should be clear about what we're doing with. If I'm saying in my particular meeting, you can't be telling me that I know that every black person has done this, and you wasn't there, but you say you know. So for me, in my particular meeting...
I didn't say every, I'm just saying, I was just talking like for me, that I'm here on the strength of that.
No, I'm not touching on your ego, I'm not touching you, I'm just saying that, I'm trying to show you a point, that from my meeting, because I was giving you a scenario, from my meeting, that what you're saying cannot be valid to me in my meeting. If I've got 10 people, what you're saying is no longer valid because you're saying you know something that you can't prove, except for the fact that you're here. That's the best you can do.
What you're doing, you're saying like calling the kettle black, in it, like, well, I can't disprove it, but you can't prove it, so I'm right.
No, you don't want clarity then. That means you don't want clarity. Because if somebody's murdered somebody, what happens? You go to court, and then is a person guilty or not? Well, you have to prove that they're guilty. That's legally.
Yeah, that's a crime, isn't it? That's anything with crime.
But even if somebody tells you a lie, you have to prove that it's wrong. Because if somebody says, "Oh, she did that," and then another person says, "No, he did this," how do you know without proving?
That's what when it comes down to definition, isn't it? And what definition you're looking for? Because if you want something to prove certain things back by the creator, you would want them to prove it scientifically. Like,
isn't that what I'm saying?
Door, right? And I want to reason with him.
Isn't that what I'm saying?
And meet him and see him physically that he's there and touch him.
Isn't that what I'm saying?
So I didn't want to say, just prove to me that the subconscious exists because I heard you speak about it, that's all.
Isn't that what I'm saying?
Got no problem. Teach me about it, tell me that the subconscious, prove to me the subconscious exists.
But you're asking me a question, it's like you're creating another argument, like you're opening
No, because it's interesting.
But this is what I'm saying to you, this is what I am saying, you're asking the question based upon the rules I've just given out. You get what I'm saying? And trying to see if it's a kind of criticism or double talk about what I'm saying. If there is no rules to your debate and your discussion, then it can go on forever, like how we only had 5 minutes and we've been going on. If we said the rules were... Listen, if we said the rules were 5 minutes and I stuck to them, then you would no longer be on air. So this is the point I'm trying to make. The rules are there. If you're going into a discussion and you just say, it depends on what your definition is. Let's find out what your definition is and see if it's valid to the discussion. Because if you're saying my definition of murder is when a man eats pork, and then DJ B says, no, that's rubbish. Then you and him can't have a conversation because your definition is totally different to his, and you're just going to have an argument for long. But if you then say, all right, then murder is about when you kill somebody, blah, 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 and you both agree, then you can take it further. It doesn't mean that the man who talked about pork is wrong or right. It means that
it doesn't mean you agree with him, but you just want to move forward on something.
Exactly. So what, is that bad? Is that the life you want to live? You want to live a life where there's a fair argument, as long as you can contradict someone, and as long as you can say something that somebody else does, that's the life you want to live. Well, that's
at the end of the day, it's what everybody's got to bring to the table, isn't it? That's the when it comes to the overseeing everything, what you got to bring to the table. It doesn't matter about what the person's philosophy is. If they can bring something positive to the table that you like. So for example, we will never agree on certain things, but for example now we could say, alright, I've got a business plan where you can invest in or I can invest in your business, and there's one benefit we can get from it, one economic benefit. We're never going to get spiritual benefit, we're never going to create anything philosophical, but we've been able to produce something economic. Right. And we just move on that one issue, but what I'm gaining, what I'm gaining is that everybody wants, it has to be like a fascist thing where you have to deny your belief or your knowledge or whatever it is to contribute, and that's not really so, because people, if you're waiting for that, that's never going to happen. You're saying in the older corner, everybody.
But you're not saying, you're exactly, you're just saying what I just said. You're saying that it depends on what you can bring to the table, but you're not going to deny your belief. I said this, that what you're bringing to the table, we're clear that there's no spirit, so the rules, it's boundaries, isn't it? There's rules. You're clear that there's no spiritual level and there's no philosophical level. That's again boundaries and rules, saying that this money that we're going to make by selling this green, or whatever we're selling, is not going to make us great philosophical human beings. Rather than going into it and then somebody comes along and says, well, you could use money, you could use money and be a really everybody's got always can add to the argument. You need to have rules about going.